I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't hear anything. Okay.
I don't hear anything.
Well, I'm doing it this way.
Don't you have those wired beats like right next to you?
Not anymore.
Wired beat.
They aren't so great.
Hey.
Kiss me there, I kiss you back.
Kiss you back.
If you touch me
Hey.
there, I'll touch you back.
If you touch me there, I touch you back.
Catman. Who's Catman?
Oh, I understand.
Catman, what the hell is that shit?
I spelled that wrong.
Cat,
There you go.
There you go,
There you go.
Kappa man.
Look at Brock's in the bottom corner, chilling.
There he
His
is.
cone
He's
on.
a good boy. He's stoic.
No.
Oh, hey, why is Bronx in a cone of shame?
He broke his toenail. He took an escape from the apartment, and he ended up damaging his toenail on the dew claw. Not the actual
You
dew claw, but
deserve
that
it.
nail. And it's bleeding all over the place. So he's like licking it like crazy. We're trying to avoid it getting infected.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
dude, that's tough.
He looks bummed though. Look how bummed he is.
He looks bummed as hell. Bummed AF.
Why did you try to shouldn't be trying to escape?
He dipped out. Yeah, that's the thing about pets. They see you trying to leave, they're gonna try to go with you.
Oh yeah.
I'll follow you.
You ever have a friend who has a cat and they're like, he's a house cat, and they run outside every chance they get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me.
He's
My
a house
cat.
cat. Like, are you sure?
Yeah, he really wants to go.
Well, the odd thing is when my cat goes outside, he'll just like stay in like a couple spots and just look around and just try not to die.
Neo's
And then-
cat.
Yeah.
Neo's cat is legitimately a house cat. Even when he goes outside, he just like hides under the stairs and watches people, and is like, "Yeah, I'm outside, but I
Hudson,
don't
Yeah.
want to look too far from the door."
when he
Yeah.
escaped, he would just go to one specific hedge and climb inside this hedge and just chill until I found him. It's like I was out there, man. It was crazy.
Yo, shout outs to Remy.
Hey,
GMB for
you
life.
see us? You see it? You see it? GMB.
I don't trust this.
How dare you
Beak,
not?
what's up, buddy? I think
What's
this is
up,
our
man?
first time like meeting. Is it?
Fully conversing. What's going on, pal?
Yeah, nothing much.
See?
You know.
Now this has been like the first crossover in like ever since we used to record back in the studio, no?
Yeah, this is the first crossover in the post Digilabs era.
In the pandemic
Pandemic.
era.
The That's his name. Panderic.
The pandemic
I like
era.
Pandemic
I like it.
era. That might be the name of this episode for us. The pandemic. Yo, shout out to
Yeah,
everybody hanging out in the chat. Let's
been a
get
minute.
it started.
Everybody,
So,
I gotta get
this
some
is-
stuff loaded though. real
Okay.
quick. But yeah, please
Thing,
go ahead.
get loaded up. Well, I'm like we have a loose format of what we do, but I have no problem with combining whatever we do. So Neo, you are the link between worlds here. So I'll kind of let you kind of moderate and run things. This is
Derek, in your dead ass eyes. I hate you, Derek. Well,
Derek. This is
the
like
cool-
seeing the Power Rangers crossovers. Someone said, "Hey,
well, I was gonna say like the cool thing about doing these crossovers is again like you finally get to interact with Uncle Beak here and get all of his hot takes and hopefully everybody out there in Twitch land checking us out could follow at James Vanderbeek at Capman. I mean Cap Caveman.
Catman.
Is that right
So-
now, Derek? Cap Caveman that way?
Yes, with a K.
Okay.
Yeah, with a K.
Just making sure.
So that's the thing, right? It's just introducing new friends, and that way you can actually kind of get a feel of the really cool thing about the show format is that when we go live on StreamYard, you can see all those comments, right, boys, and how
Yep.
they're coming through. So it's really interactive experience.
I love it. You guys can all see that, right?"
Yes, sir.
So we
Yes.
got folks joining from Facebook, folks joining from Twitch, folks joining from YouTube, from
Mhm.
all over the place. Please, if you guys can, the only place we are not broadcasting from is like a steel cage like
What up, KG?
page. So please make sure you are sharing this to your people, letting them know that we are live.
Live.
And we have a fifth joining the party.
There
Hey,
he is.
a fifth man.
Antique time.
Antique time, as always.
Bringing the title with him.
With the gold.
Sorry, I was over here polishing this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Plead the fifth.
I was the first person to challenge him for that belt, and I will take it from your ass.
He's gonna get rolled up.
Yes.
He's gonna
the
get rolled
moment
up.
we all hang out again, it's happening. Like hardcore rules, wherever we are, is going down.
A referee shirt is getting purchased. Somebody will be wearing it. Teak won't know who.
Yo, we can get Jabron. We can get Jabron. He has a ref shirt.
Jabron does have a ref shirt.
We can hire him.
I'm liking that Eddie shirt as well.
I'm just gonna start rolling with a cricket ref in my crew. So
we need a cricket ref around. He need an NWO ref.
So it's like one of those refs from like AAA who's like a heel ref. He just counts slow.
I need
you see that ref that used back in the day that just pointed at the ground? He didn't actually get down to actually count. He just like 1, 2. Okay.
I need a young Nate in my crew.
Yeah, you do.
Young Nate.
Jabron could do it.
Lil Teak.
He'll go for the highest bidder. All right, let's get it started, y'all. All right, the show is going to start right about now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us for a crossover episode. That's right. Pew, pew, pew. Most ambitious crossover in history happening right now in front of your screen. It is Mania X, the Steel Cage podcast, and it's going down. For us, this is episode 197 of the Mania podcast, inching ever so close to 200. 2 bills.
2 bills.
2 bills.
And Derek.
Hello and welcome to episode 440 of the Steel Cage podcast. It's the podcast that will never end. My name is Derek Montia, occasionally known as the mayor of Reseda. Also, the smartest person on the Steel Cage podcast. I'm allowed to call myself that because the 2 guys that normally join me owe me $20 based on a bet we made on our predictions for WrestleMania. Right. So, to my left, owing me $20 first, it's the man they call Uncle Beak. It's Jeremy.
Hello, ladies and germs. Man,
hello, sir.
Are we sure about this count? I think we need to recount. Neil, recount.
I'm pretty sure the only match you got right was Bad Bunny winning. Now to my right is the other guy that owes me $20. It's the Neo X.
Sorry, I spent it on the sweet GMB Grudge Match Band T-shirt.
Money well spent.
Shout out to Grudge Match Band.
Shout out Grudge Match. Yeah. Word. So also in the house we have the villain, fresh off his acquisition of the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. He rolled up Taz in the parking lot, and
he rolled him up in the parking lot.
He did.
I'm coming for that FTW title next.
Nice. Yo, so
now I want all the obscure titles. I want the hardcore title also.
Okay, all right. We'll find you a hardcore belt. I was looking for that actually. They didn't have it up when I was at Mania.
Wow.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
Go get your title. Go get your title, Beak.
I'm gonna need to get some gold here.
I mean, if we're getting our gold out, I'm just saying we're getting our gold out.
Okay. All right. This is that kind of show, huh?
He's got a $1 million
title. So you got to upstage us all with the $1 million belt. I see.
It's a child's $1 million belt. It's for a child.
That's the $1 zillion belt.
Where's your mini belt, Rand? You got a title?
I don't even know. At this point, that would be embarrassing to pull that out in this room. So
no, you got the UK one. It's dope.
I'm gonna leave that where it
just
is.
like a rip title.
So it's an honor to be back here to talk about some wrestling with y'all.
It was good, man.
Fully honest, I just caught up today. I've been a little busy this week in Mexico. Now trying to resurrect AAA.
Booking the territory.
But I was out there getting new chompers. And so these are my new teeth.
Very
and it's
shiny.
the very first time that I've had extended
Looking-
conversations in them. So
Smelling like a $1 million.
So
I'm not gonna
weird.
disclose the deal you got or how much money you paid, but let's just say when we were talking about it, I guffawed at our dental system in this country because I was like, yeah, man, I got like dental work. It cost me like $600, and then you started talking about what you paid, and you got a vacation paid along with it, which is just nuts to me. But God bless Mexico.
Our dental system leaves a lot to be desired, man. In general, dental work is way too expensive, and not to say that it isn't like deserved, but there should be a lot more coverage happening in our like with our insurance. You agree?
You know what's crazy is like when I took my boys to get root canals, I paid $40
Wow.
for a root canal in Mexico for a pediatric dentist.
Wow.
And then after that, we got tacos.
Meanwhile, the dude down the street tried to charge me $1,300 for just me. So
wow.
How that's
I'm gonna tell you that
with insurance, by the way.
Yeah, what I wanted to get done, they were talking somewhere about $20,000. And
what? Here in the States?
In the States, yeah. And
without insurance,
this wasn't 20,000, that's for sure.
Well, Rand, when you
no more coffee, no more Coca-Cola, nothing to stain them teeth. You better ride them things until they fall off.
I had some Coca-Cola just to test it, and it seemed to be okay.
All right.
When you first sent the picture of your new chompers in the chat, at first I didn't know what you got done. I was like, there's something different about him. But I told somebody, I was like, I'm such a man and not in another man's mouth. Like I had to go to your Instagram and look at old pictures of you and then say, oh, that's what it is. He got the veneers.
Right. I had a few people say that too, like, oh, I never noticed anything about it. I'm like, well, that's okay. I've been living with it for 40 years, so I've done enough living with it, so it's okay.
Well, another thing that I noticed when I was looking at your pictures, though, and to go off the post that you had recently made saying that you had to find your smile. Now I noticed that you didn't teeth smile in a lot of photos. You were doing the closed mouth smile.
Good observation. Yeah, man. So, I've dealt with teeth stuff or mouth stuff for as long as I can remember. And, so it feels very good to close the gap. Yeah. And as Owen Hart said, enough is enough. Time for a change. So,
hey, man. You know what? You got to treat yourself. You just got to treat yourself. And
absolutely.
And additionally, it's not only for your health, but I mean, overall, you feel better, more confident. I mean, all the above, buddy. So
that's right.
The new teeth were very beneficial to Roman Reigns. He looked great. Positive.
Yeah.
New teeth.
Look at that. Roman,
the new head of the table.
And I mean, if Rand out here trying to be a actor now and stuff, he got the new chompers. He can get a role in the new Hobbs and Shaw.
Step 1, step 2, step 3. That's what he's going for.
That's it. It's teeth and then profit. That's how it goes. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But one thing that is new, we're at a new week of pro wrestling, so there's a lot been going on. But literally fresh off the internet presses, I have to talk about the trash bag heard around the world.
Oh yeah.
We have
to just briefly talk about the trash bag. Now, I've been fired from many jobs. I'll just say that. A few of them were nice enough jobs where I had left things there and they would send me things. So I've gotten a few of those office supply paper boxes full of maybe
like the banker box thing. Yeah,
my trinkets that I've left at a job. I've never had those trinkets returned to me in a trash bag inside of a box with a little note on it that said Mickie, like Mickie James got. And I initially thought, what's the big deal? Like, you're done. You don't want to work there anymore. I mean, they don't want you. Here's your stuff. But the presentation, you would think, with a company that's making billion-dollar deals, would be a little better. So I don't know what. Derek, any thoughts on this situation as it progresses?
I was kind of with you on it. I was kind of with you on like what do you expect from a company that doesn't even give their independent contractors health insurance, considering the health risks that they put themselves through every single time they perform, right? It doesn't surprise me that they don't care. They've often displayed with their actions that they feel like performers are disposable. So from that aspect, none of it surprises me. It didn't move the needle with me because my needle right now with WWE, as far as the way they treat people, is like it's on E. It's done, right? But I'll say this much, that I was more surprised by not only them trying to take some sort of accountability with Triple H's tweet about the person who was responsible being fired over this and acting like it was a big disgrace. I was more surprised by, after that coming out, seeing tweets from people, over wrestlers over the years like Maria Kanellis and others, Gail Kim, who have expressed that their items were returned to them in a similar fashion. This isn't something that just happened.
They're bringing for the hefty bag, though. It's not the cheap bags. These are the hefty.
Well, I'm with you. I mean, they're the.
I think they're scented. Those mofos are scented. So,
there's a lot there, and they put her name on it. On a sticky note.
Triple H for jumping on that as soon as he did, and that immediately. Much respect to them for that.
Or at least put it on airs that they did do something about it. That's nice.
Right.
As well.
They may not have done it.
But it almost felt like a metaphor of what happened last Black Thursday, where it's like, like we're gonna put all your stuff in trash, and then now you're out of here, tossed out like the trash.
Well,
and
it's weird because Mark Carrano's
in my
firing.
mind, Triple H just went on Triple H in the back, and he just started flipping shit over and spitting water in people's face. Who did this?
This is egregious.
Ripping his suit off and stuff, challenging people to fights and shit. It was awesome.
Those were the good sticky notes.
Mark Carrano, who was the known talent agent, was let go.
Fired.
And the talent relations agent, basically the person that they've always said has to do the heavy lifting involving wrestlers being let go and all that kind of stuff. And Joe Villa, who's somebody that I knew personally with WWE and I've worked with over the years. He was the person that gave me and the Steel Cage interviews with wrestlers. So it's absolutely like. Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful.com reported that at least Joe Villa's firing had nothing to do with this, but it's kind of hard to see how it doesn't, considering
I feel like they knew, right?
And Reach's situation with his tweet.
But it's almost like I felt like they would have known, because there had to be some sort of accountability there. Someone must have saw what was going on, And
imagine if Mickie hadn't said anything, though. Like, she just like, oh, that's fucked up. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. Like, just if she tried to be super professional about it, even though she got all the disrespect.
Right.
But they had to do something. Like,
Gail Kim said, like you said, Gail Kim said, this has been happening since before I was even there. Is it the same person all the time?
Is it more disrespectful because it was in a bag in a box? What if it was just in the box?
Well, they did buy the box of bags, so they got to go through them. It would be a waste not to use these bags.
It's the fact it's in a trash bag. That's what's disrespectful. It's the trash bag.
So, well, I'm just saying, at least in a trash bag, your stuff is more like together. Like if she had loose stuff and you threw it in a box, then it's just like flopping all around.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I haven't even had my shit returned to me when I've been fired from a job before. So like, I'm not even like, at least they gave her stuff back, but
like at least it had her name on it, so she knew she was getting her shit. Like they had a system.
It's another example of
black
WWE
bag,
being
green tape, black marker.
It'd been great if they spelled her name wrong, even too, like MICKY.
MOUSE.
Mickie
James JAIMS.
Yeah. If that tape has her name on it and that's not her shit in the bag, then we fire people.
or more importantly, if it's Randy Orton's shit in the bag, then you're definitely firing people.
Literal.
Randy packaged all of these.
Yeah.
So As my aunt used to always say, the devil don't need no advocate. But shout out to Drizzen, who said, I'm going to play devil's advocate. If one dude has been handling this job for years and no one spoke up, it's not overly surprising that it's been happening year over year.
Right.
Indeed.
Any thoughts on that?
Well, that goes back to Gail Kim, or not Gail Kim, but is Mickie James unprofessional for putting this out there? I don't think so, because I think it's a really shitty way to treat talent, you know? So I think she's just kind of highlighting it on her way out. Like, hey, by the way, this is how they treated me on my way out.
Probably the last time it happens, right? I mean, for the most part, you imagine. Otherwise, they're just totally ignorant, just don't give a damn whatsoever.
You have to speak up, and sometimes it's shitty when you're the person that speaks up. Sometimes you're the one that kind of gets the flack for it and gets the criticism. But if you are the person that inspires change and causes things to be better for at least the next round of people that get fired next year, then hey.
So here's what.
And then sometimes it matters what type of relationship you plan on having with that company afterwards. So if the way they fired her, which I heard she didn't even know she was getting released, was like, well, fuck those dudes, then I don't think she's unprofessional for
she's airing their
telling
dirty
people
laundry.
the way that she. Shit, I just told somebody earlier, if you left the job on bad terms, every time you drove past that job, you'd say "fuck that job." So, I don't blame them.
It's true. I say fuck that job about jobs I didn't even have a bad experience with.
Right. I'd be like, oh yeah, I hated that place. So Mickie James is arguably a Hall of Famer and someone who I think will come back at some point, whether it's for Hall of Fame or something else. So do you think she should have thought about that before she said anything? Or I don't think she cared at all.
Do you think that's her metaphorically trying to burn a bridge there, though?
No bridge is ever fully burned.
Yeah, especially in wrestling with Vince. If he can make money, he's going to say, all right, come on.
Vince doesn't take anything personal. But her tagging him, I'm like, it's a little bit crazy.
She's like, hey, Vince, check this crap out.
You're going to at me, bro?
And maybe
she went for it. She went for it.
She went for it. Like, I'm going to at the boss.
Yeah.
And he doesn't check Twitter. Like, he doesn't care. No, I don't know. But I thought that was
some assistant's going to tell him, Vince, we got this tweet from, I think it's Mickie James.
I mean, somehow that shit got forwarded to Triple H real quick. I think Triple H is checking Vince's tweets.
There you go.
Either that or he's got the call from him.
It'd be funny to see somebody release a tweet like, I got all my stuff nice pressed and folded. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Right. Like, no one said that. Like, I didn't see anybody being like, wait, but they didn't dry clean your ring gear?
Yeah.
Here's actually what I will say is I think in the modern day where WWE wants to do so much to rebound from things like this, I think Mickey's actually ensured that she'll be back sooner than later. I think that they'll welcome her back almost as an apology due to this. I don't think she'll be like scorned and kept away because of I don't think she'll miss future opportunities, basically.
Yeah, but knowing WWE, they'll bring her back in some sort of trash bag gimmick.
Sure.
Yo, shout out to my buddy Tony, who was like, oh, now we need to bring her back for SummerSlam and have a trash bag on a pole match or something.
Yeah. She's gonna ride in on the back of a trash truck.
Trash truck.
Dude, the Dumpster Josie's gonna be with her. It's gonna be rad.
Her new gimmick is gonna be like, "Hey, women can be trash men too."
Yeah,
you didn't know that?
Oh God!
They back out the same dumpster that they dumped Eric Bischoff in, right? She could be on the back of it. That's how she comes down.
Now I want to watch Men at Work with Emilio West.
Yeah, of course you do.
Emilio,
classic. Yeah, the super duper fly outfit from Missy Elliott.
Oh my God, that's good.
Yes.
Well, it's like I said in our chat, it didn't fully surprise me, or I guess shouldn't, when we know all the things that they've been through, and it's so hard, man. When my friends who don't really watch wrestling find out about stuff like this, and they're like, hey man, did you hear that like WWE doesn't like treat their like employees well? And I'm like, first of all, they're independent contractors, and like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to like, I have to defend this. Like,
they're gonna get billed for the bag. You know what was crazy was when I heard Andrew Yang and what's his name from the Late Show talk about like how the WWE does all this stuff and now how it's becoming to the forefront. It's terrible. Some of the stuff that they do go through. I know the trash bag thing is a minute thing, but man, they go through so much and they don't get a lot out of it. And the fact that they had all their stuff kind of taken away from them, something's got to change. Just like, something's got to go. John Oliver,
that's what happens when things are a monopoly and one person is running the show.
And that's why we're happy that AEW is doing well, or at least that there's an alternative at this point. Like, I think a lot of people have to understand it's not even about like this allegiance and brand loyalty or anything like that. It's just the desire for at least for me, for competition. Yeah. Like, I just want to see competition. I need these people to have alternatives. You know what I mean? For the longest time.
This is the best time ever for wrestling with as many televised options that we have. I just saw that MLW got a deal with Vice, so they're going to be on Vice TV now.
Yep. And remember, New Japan is on the Roku channel.
Yep.
Man, I mean, you're talking like all these
Impact on TV,
wrestling,
like
IWTV. Yeah, it's just more accessible than ever, and it's more accessible to find alternatives. AEW and obviously Impact are working together now, which is really cool. AEW is just offering different shit. Like I was catching up on last couple of episodes of AEW with my wife, and she had to bring up how much she loved Sue and Trent and it being his mom and the kiss and that whole the arcade fight with Trent coming back. I will say that AEW at the very least offers, something different, something a little bit unique at times, especially compared to WWE. WWE at times can be very, boring. Let's be honest. This was like the worst post WrestleMania possible period ever, as far as like how impactful those episodes after WrestleMania.
I'll just say it. Right? AEW's just better. I said it.
Well, what at me. Oh shit! What you gotta wrap your mind around is that Raw is for casual fans and SmackDown is for the people who want to watch wrestling. So because those shows are
bullshit. Because casual fans watch Raw and they think it's crap. I've had people that watch it that don't even watch wrestling and they're like, "This is boring. I'm not interested in this."
Yeah, I don't think casual fans want a 3-hour show. So I don't know about that.
No, the best thing about all these shows. You don't have to watch a show for 3 hours to get ratings. It's where they put stuff on the show. It's how they do all of the backstage, more talking, more segments, more talk show stuff. Because for the people who are casual wrestling fans, hey, but I like talk shows. They got this little Alexa Bliss talk segment. Like, you don't get all of that stuff.
Yeah, but if you're a new person looking at that and you know none of the context, you're going to get lost.
If anybody is sinking their teeth in and sticking around because of Alexa Bliss on her damn playground, I'm like, hey, you don't like wrestling.
Hey, it's my 10-year-old daughter, and she doesn't like wrestling, and she's sticking around because her name's Lily, and so is the creepy fucking doll.
There you go.
That was pretty good. But the best part about all the companies is now there's less possibility that Vince is just going to gobble up all the talent like they've been hoarding all the damn talent for the last couple of years, and you see they end up purging these mass amount of guys who are plenty talented. And Samoa Joe, I mean, come on, you guys, it's ridiculous.
Here's the thing. Here's what I find to be amazing in the modern day WWE world is that Imperium is the longest reigning faction and the most powerful faction now in like WWE, right? Mm-hmm. Because who else has been around longer than Imperium? Who has, I don't know. I mean, and like it's kind of like with NXT. For me, the best storyline. Nope. Cameron Grimes. I love Cameron Grimes. So a lot of the best things
maybe the New Day
right now for me is an NXT.
New Day, perhaps.
New Day.
But they've kind of splintered also, which is kind of sucky.
Sure. And I guess that's why I don't consider them to be that anymore. Like they haven't broken up, right? So they're still together, but I think this lack of commitment to certain things and always needing to change. I think the recent releases were really disheartening. The release of the Iconics really broke my heart. Samoa Joe really broke my heart. Like it for me, it makes it hard to keep coming back to this company, especially when they keep dumping talent like Rusev and the Iconics, and people that you just don't quite understand what exactly caused.
And people who actually got over, they actually legitimately got over. Rusev, huge Rusev day. Billie Kay, even when they put her by herself with that damn resume, her resume got over. The girl is talented and entertaining, and it's
whatever she does is fun, right?
So you're telling me in the climate of WWE where they're hurting for Raw or for women's tag team, you let go of one of the best women's tag team to have ever done it.
Right. Yeah, you break them up, and then you
when they let them go, they weren't a tag team. So
yeah, they break them up first.
They let go singles wrestlers.
I think they assumed they both would flounder instantly, and Billie Kay actually did something begrudgingly. I guess we still got to get rid of this girl.
Well, even Peyton, when she cut that scathing promo on Raw Talk, I had stake in her after that promo. Personally, I thought that was going to probably help her, turn a different stone in the company. Nope. And why is Naomi fighting Shayna Baszler when we just seen this on
WrestleMania Backlash? It's all stuff you've seen before.
Everything is backlash in between WrestleMania and WrestleMania Backlash.
I do have to slightly agree with Drizzen. I know that we're all on the same page here, but slow down on calling the Iconics one of the best to ever do it. I mean, they're great. But slow down a little bit.
But let's think. But hear me out. Think about how many people have been the tag team title holders.
The women tag team title holders?
Yeah.
So they were first.
Not many.
They were first.
Not many.
And then there was 4 teams.
Yeah.
Also, if we're going the best to ever hold that tag team title,
that specific name.
Tag team title.
Okay.
They're one of the best to ever do it.
Short amount of time. I'm just saying.
Back the fuck up, Drizzen.
Okay.
Small sample size. It's a small sample size.
Yes, indeed.
I'll just say this though.
There it is.
Again,
there it is.
They're the greatest to ever do it on a Tuesday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
They probably were the best champions.
They're
out of
the top.
4.
They're at least the top 5.
But yeah. top 5 and not 5. All right, I like it.
But okay, again, for me, one of the best.
Mean, are they beating Nia and Shayna? No.
I mean, they were more entertaining, people could say.
Exactly. For me, one of the best post WrestleMania moments involved the women, but it again was on NXT when all of the women's champions that were former NXT wrestlers showed up and they had their moment. They all hugged. They all,
heartwarming.
It was a great moment. It was heartwarming. I guess you could say it broke kayfabe, whatever, but it was cool as shit. It was something that again I never felt like I don't feel like Raw or SmackDown delivered with their post WrestleMania shows in any way. SmackDown did give Bianca her moment, so that was cool. I'm not saying they didn't, but what they did on NXT was just dope.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like to see that. So let's talk about it. We really don't have to go through Raw, but
no, let's just.
There's one thing that happened though, and I don't know if it was good, but it happened. Okay, so the team of T-Bar and Mace were unmasked on this show.
At least we know that they're not with the Hurt Business. That was a good thing.
We don't know that yet.
We still don't know that
yet.
We still don't know.
Man, they walked right past them. I doubt that they're.
It could be a ruse.
They're getting paid under the table.
So here's what I didn't see, and maybe you could tell me because I watched it on mute for reasons. So
this is a wrestling podcast.
I watched it. What else you want from me? All right, so.
He's not required to listen to the show.
Did the commentary refer to them as Dio Madden and Djokovic?
Nope.
They pretend like they didn't know these guys were.
Never seen these men before.
Dio was a former commentator on the damn show.
Yo, he worked here. He literally worked here. Yeah. You didn't know.
I'm glad you said T-Bar and Mace.
Chair.
When you say Mason T-Bar, it sounds like one guy named Mason T-Bar. Hi, I'm Mason T-Bar.
Mason T-Bar. Gentlemen.
So
at your service,
be a better name than Mason or T-Bar. Mason T-Bar.
Mason T-Bar. Okay. That might be the name of the episode.
That's it.
Okay, another thing happened when I search WWE news right now, I love how they really tried to make this seem like a real thing. The top result is Charlotte fined by WWE. And I was like, okay. They're like trying to really make you believe it.
What was the dollar
beat up a
amount?
ref.
What was the dollar amount?
It was
They
like
should make
10
it like
it was like
$100
$100,000 or something like that.
I think it's like $100,000.
Yeah.
Why not?
Kick that ref's ass.
A bazillion didgeridoo dollars. Why not?
McMahon dollars.
She's gonna show up next week with a beer truck and start spraying it everywhere. She's gonna be the new Stone Cold.
Oh my God.
Yes.
But you know what's funny is like she was quote unquote suspended, and guess what? She just went down to Mexico to get dental work too. You know, so why not?
She was not welcomed. She was not welcomed at WrestleMania, sir. And yeah, don't fucking say that because she will go off on you like she did on Dave Meltzer. So watch your ass.
That's a hilarious storyline, by the way. Like they don't want her on the show.
To work the same place you did,
Right?
Maybe. I mean, if she's going to Supreme Dental, I don't know. They gave me the Instagram discount. So
what is going on here?
Hey, I got an Instagram discount. So because I'm an influencer.
Oh.
Wow,
So
look
holler
at
at me, Charlotte. I know some people. Holler at me.
Rand's blue check is getting his teeth fixed. Look at that.
Hey, that's right. So so that's about it from Raw, to be honest. We can move on because actually, okay,
That really is it. That really is it.
I mean, Riddle beat Orton. Does anybody?
I was kind of
what
upset
the hell
fact
is
that-
Riddle's character?
Yeah.
What is his character? I saw somebody
Even-
compare him to the annoying kid that sits in the front seat in the Home Alone movie next to the driver that's taking him to the airport, and I couldn't have seen a more accurate description. Like, holy shit, I don't know what they're doing with him.
All I need from Matt Riddle right now is I need WWE. Shit, I don't know if they can now since they sold everything to Peacock, but
Rolling
they would have
papers.
needed to do an original show with Matt Riddle and RVD. Like, dude, where's my car? Did you see the Instagram clip of them
Oh no.
throwing down? Like, like
Riddle was,
Ali
Riddle
or
was
something?
way
Like,
excited to see RVD. Like way excited.
Yeah, I bet.
If he
It's not
hasn't
the
got
first
like
time
a
they've hung
scooter
out.
sponsorship by now, like he's got to get a scooter.
What's the
sponsorship.
point? Like, why aren't there WWE scooters at my local Target?
More importantly, why are they
Stallions?
pigeons coming out of his shoes when he kicks them off and not peacocks? I mean, that seems like the obvious thing that should be
Remember when they
happening,
put the
right?
pirate hat on him?
Oh, I hate everything about him. Oh, so much.
He's so
And you know
mad.
what's funny? I called this shot a long time ago on the Steel Cage because from the minute he debuted on NXT, I was like, oh, Vince is going to fucking love this guy. Like, he's going to love him because he is everything Vince wants in a babyface star
stallion
that he could put everything behind. Absolutely, right? He's that stupid, teenage level of humor.
I think Vince is making fun of him. Is what I think is happening.
I don't know though. He just beat Randy Orton.
Old man,
Randy Orton, so
he beat Randy Orton.
On him, I guess.
Last guy they did that with was
Matt
Keith
Riddle
Lee.
was like Matt Riddle was like reefer madness to Vince McMahon. He looks at that guy and he's like, these damn hippies.
Just go out there being as stupid as fuck. We don't care. That's all he is, dude. He's the goofiest motherfucker, like stream of consciousness bullshit.
The goofy guy. It's
yeah.
weird. All right, so we can move on. NXT. Did you guys manage to catch that this week?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Kyle O'Reilly. Is this guy always
You mean Orange Cassidy Light?
No.
was this always
Cool
was this always
Kyle?
in him? Like, okay, I didn't know him from the indies, but
There you
like,
go.
is
Cool
this
Kyle.
was this his thing?
Yeah, he's always
Can
on
he
the
go?
goofy
Yes.
side from PWG. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has he always played the title belt that he held like a guitar when he came out? Yes, he always has. Has he always
Sleazy
been like a
Kyle. He used to be
weirdo?
Sleazy Kyle. Yeah.
Sleazy Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, O'Reilly. That's how you gotta chant
Tampico
it.
Kyle. That's what we call him.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
He's
Hey,
Tang Cassidy.
Dang, there you go.
Yo,
Oh.
Sonny D. Cassidy.
I do not like these accusations.
Not purple
one
stuff.
bit.
The Sunny D.
Nah.
Hang Riley. There you go.
All right. I felt like, all right, this is a little I wasn't really into it, but if it works for him,
it was funny banter though between he and what's his name, Cameron Grimes. Yeah, he's talking about, hey man, I really like them stonks. Your stonks are stonking, stonk. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then all of a sudden,
to the moon, Dogecoin, stonks, GameStop, stonks.
So it's like super insider kind of stuff, and then come to find out they pops him in the face. Come on,
he's got to find a way to wash that Undisputed Era stench off of him. So he's just trying to find himself.
Yeah, trying to find yourself outside of that. But yeah, like I get it. It's a reinvention, so it'll be
like new song, new gear, everything. Like is totally different now, so he can't come up.
It's just so hard because Undisputed Era was so dominating.
Coming out of such a iconic group, it's hard.
Yeah, like it resonated with everybody.
Right. So how do you come out and not have that chip on your shoulder, like attitude? So I mean, him being kind of like a dick goes with it.
You guys are acting like Kyle O'Reilly didn't show up as like an old man at one point and hasn't been playing the tag team championships like a fucking guitar this whole time. This has been him. Like, this is just him being himself on his own, and I think it's him like just doing what he wants to do. NXT is still viewed as a developmental brand, whether it's not anymore or it is. It's still them trying stuff to see how it works. Yeah. And I think that he's shown a lot of potential for what they want him to be, right? Like I think especially the match was fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cameron Grimes at times kind of he kind of frustrated me because Kyle O'Reilly was really kicking him really hard, and he was really going as hard as he's gone against some of these guys. And Cameron Grimes was just coming with some light ass shit, and at times I don't know. I don't know if it's just the like WWE way that's kind of
I think it
made him kind of lighten up.
I think it is.
I just in PWG I saw Trevor Lee hit the shit out of people. So like
he would fucking slap a guy.
He would slap the fuck out of people. So like from that perspective, it's kind of weird to see him be the light hitting guy now, but that's kind of WWE's system. I'm more frustrated with the fact that Cameron Grimes' character is so great and that they haven't like just gone all in on it, like full on JBL. Like, why isn't there a limousine bringing this guy out to the ring?
Yes,
why isn't he throwing money into the crowd? Why?
That's what I want.
I did enjoy him bringing up NFTs. He's like, I was trying to get this NFT.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the
really
thing.
Mad that he missed out on the Undertaker NFT for $100,000. By the way, is what it sold for.
Well, apparently he's been outbid on a couple of stuff, or maybe it was an NFT by the $1 Million Man.
Yeah, it was.
Right. So now Cameron Grimes is in a feud with the $1 Million Man.
Yeah. What better person for him to be in a feud with?
That's a perfect feud. Yeah,
it's great.
What else we get? We get Frankie Monet interrupting Io Shirai.
Frankie Muniz, he wrestling now?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Totally.
Malcolm in the mid card.
I like it. The former Taya Valkyrie and Io. I think this is a great money match at some point. I would love to see it. The I don't know. I think the promo segment didn't go super well, but I don't know. Like I don't watch a whole lot of NXT, but I always feel like Io Shirai is more believable to me and a better kind of promo when she's speaking in Japanese. And so I feel like
her words.
Let it go like naturally. Don't force. I feel like they shouldn't be forcing her to do these in English. But what do you think?
I'm gonna say this. I love dogs, and I fucking hate that she has the dog with her. Just because you can tell how distracting and shit that it's a dog.
Yeah,
you know how hard it is to get a dog to act right in front of a goddamn crowd and shit. Like, oh my god, I'm just thinking there the whole time, going,
Matilda,
what a nightmare for this dog. And oh my god, just you could deliver this promo so much better if you weren't worried about the dog.
Right.
Hopefully, Big Boss Man doesn't show up to eat this dog, man.
Oh god. Hey. If Matilda could do a dark side of the ring, I'm sure it would be terrible.
Oh my gosh, they were so bad to that dog.
Let's not even talk about what they used to do to that poor dog. Oh my god!
Hey, don't forget about the monkey, you guys.
Hey,
No.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
That's easy. Non-crossover episodes. Don't bring New Japan shit into this. He's gonna bring up Shingo at some point. So,
well, let me ask you this: do you guys feel like Io Shirai, like, would it be more beneficial for her to kind of be off television for a little bit to kind of give a little bit more time for Frankie Monet to, you know, find herself in the women's division, or do you think?
I think she was gonna go. That's where they were teasing, like she actually was gonna step away, but she's like, you know what? I am too irritated by this woman. I have to stick around and whoop her ass. I think that's the way they're going to end up going. Yeah. But you're right. Maybe otherwise, was she going to go learn a new hold?
Well, they just debuted, what's her name? Sarah?
Saray.
She's
Saray. Man, yeah, she's so damn good.
She's really dope.
And she had a very good debut. Yeah, like nothing to take away from her, but I feel like it would be great if Io did kind of just take a step away. Nothing against her, obviously, but I mean, I think it's, you know, it's the same thing. Like, you don't know what you got until it's gone. I think she should take a break and let some more talent kind of flourish, and that way she has more credible competition. You know, because she always has.
Monet's going to take her out to have her take the, you know, step away, you know what I mean? Like,
and then that could move her into the title picture.
Yeah,
with Raquel, because she kicked shit up with Raquel on her first night out. So it's not like this interaction with Io Shirai is the only interaction that she's having, right? She's just wanted introducing herself.
Yeah, and I guess I just wanted something to go against the grain instead of like injuring her or whatever. Like, just let her have a good send off and let her earn her break and have her come back and just beat the shit out of everybody come down the road.
Here's the thing. We want things to go against the grain all the time, but unfortunately they don't. They just go along with the same kind of storylines.
Sorry for suspending my disbelief.
No, I know. I mean, there's a lot of things
I
to
want
like.
Something interesting to happen, damn it.
Not over here.
No.
At least until they move some women along or do what they're going to do next. Their claim about NXT's women's division being, you know, the best in pro wrestling is a pretty valid claim. Oh yeah, I will say. I think so. Like, I like Zoe Stark a lot, who's a new star that they're kind of trying to rise, and I think that they've done a good job with her. I think that the women's division
had her step up for Saray. That was awesome.
It was dope. And I mean, in general, she's like one of their stars that they've made, right? She's not somebody that they brought in from the outside like a lot of the women in their division. Yeah. But they also have some pretty interesting stories going on. Like, I love what they have going on with The Way and Candice and Indy Hartwell and her obsession with Dexter. Oh, and Papa John.
Papa John.
I love it when you call me Big Papa John.
I love how they leaned into Austin Theory just being a big, goofy, dumb jock. It's
He's
like
such a dumb ass,
hilarious.
Perfect. Yeah.
Stupid dumb animal.
Right. All right. So overall, I think a really good show. I felt like Imperium as the main event wasn't necessarily the highlight of the show because they just kind of squashed. But you know, I'm always happy to see Imperium in action.
Hey, but that's what you get from one of the longest factions in the business.
That's true. And I think, you know, sometimes you got to just let them know what they do.
They're talking about expanding. I think they're going to add a new member. I think it might end up being Thatcher. Yes. That's my speculation.
Oh, what a crazy idea there.
That would be dope.
But it's just, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things with Imperium that I like. And Walter has been booked as the best fucking pro wrestler in almost all WWE.
He's like the new Undertaker.
He's like really fucking is.
He's super strong.
And he comes on to NXT, just shows up and just fucks people up and then leaves. And like, it's just great. I love him so much. Like, they've booked Imperium in a real way, in a subtle way, right? It's not even like UE where the Undisputed Era were like running over people constantly and just the big story and the main like focus on NXT constantly. Imperium just kind of comes in, does their thing, has their run-ins with people who they don't like, and kind of
steamroll shop and just takes off.
Well, and that's the thing.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, you always make the comparison, right? Be like, oh, like this guy in NXT, blah blah blah, or this tag team in NXT is blah blah blah. But then you always got to go like, have you beat Walter?
Well,
That's the thing.
But for a long time, Imperium
No.
wasn't there because
Nope.
a long time Imperium wasn't there because they couldn't travel. So,
But
you can't really say
that adds
that
to
they
the
weren't-
layer of
that they
definitely
weren't
adds
running
that
over
mystique.
guys, because now that they're here, they are.
We got to show that they're dominant. So I get
I
it.
mean, yeah, you got your fedora on, yeah. COVID protocols, yeah, they couldn't travel, but boy, I like the fact like if they can take something like that and just make it layer on top of that, where like, you know what, Imperium only comes out when they need to come out. That's the
Walter
thing.
spoke on that because Walter said that he feels like he needs to defend his title more to make up for the time that he was not able to.
I can see that.
I would like to see more, but I get it. I also like them coming sparingly and just wrecking shop. Like
he's an actual attraction. They're an
Yeah,
actual.
few
make him
things
an
are a
attraction.
special attraction, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Walter is an attraction.
And
All right, let's
before
move
we
on
move
to
on,
the. Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Last thing,
Uh-oh.
Kushida versus Oni.
Oh,
yeah.
Kushida in
Fire.
general.
Dude, that match was like
It was fire.
everything, dude. That match was fire.
I thought that should have been the main event, but
that should have been the main event.
I felt after that match, I was like, oh, okay, like
Mhm,
this is great. Great match for sure.
I hate how easy it is for a face to get over with me by doing an open challenge. But that's all they need to
That's
do.
bold. Yeah.
You do open challenges. I'm like, yes, I'm on board. Even with Sheamus doing them and then beating the shit out of Humberto.
I like
Carrillo, was
his
yes,
twist on the open
yes.
challenge. Sheamus being like, yeah, open challenge. Nah, I'm
Except for you, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you when you come
Yeah.
out here, and you ain't
This
gonna
is
get
not a
come back
match.
here.
I'm just gonna whoop you. Like,
I don't want to
like
see that. My poor homie Humberto, poor guy.
Man, I was sad about that too. They bring him back. He's got a new look. He looked like $1 million,
And they murdered him.
and they just murdered him.
They put him over big on
Absolutely cool.
commentary too. He's coming
So
down
they-
to like
Yeah.
third generation of the Garza family, and then plow. Done.
You know what sucks
Just kidding.
is, you know what? It's because like they'll tell wrestlers, go get big or go get some definition, work on your look, blah blah blah, and then he comes back. So you do everything right just to get a bro kick. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Well, it's why wrestling is
These
arguably
are
the
simply
most
suggestions.
challenging sport. Yeah, it's a suggestion. It's
I
not
feel
a
like I
guarantee.
gotta,
I
I feel like I
he
just
got
gotta
on
start
TV.
watching main event just to be happy with WWE.
It
at
got
this point.
TV time, like
Right.
you
What
gotta
you
check.
want them to do, Neo?
outta here with
You want
that.
them to eat or you want them to starve? They
I'd rather
say,
him. I'd rather him starve than.
we ain't got no program for
I
you
think
right
he'd,
now.
still
We
be,
just want
he'd
them
still
to
be in catering. He'd still be in catering.
He'd still
He
be
can't eat
catering.
his pride though.
No.
His family can't eat
Leo.
his pride.
There you go.
We ain't got no
It's a
story
fake
for you
fight.
right now, but you can go in the ring and eat this bro kick. What you want to do?
That's
I'm
pride
good.
fucking with you.
You want to eat? You want to eat your chicken breast, or you want to eat this foot in the mouth?
Yeah,
like,
either
like-
way, you're eating. You're eating.
Why not both?
I wanted to take a step back because I know you guys probably talked about it on Matt Mania, but what are your guys' thoughts on the change as far as commentary goes? It seems really weird because apparently
It's
Tom
weird.
Phillips has been demoted kind of to 205 Live. He has other job titles, so it seems like it might be just a factor that he has too much off-screen responsibilities because he seems to be involved with talent relations and things like that. But he's been removed from Raw, which I thought Tom Phillips was doing a fine job.
I thought he was good. This baseball guy. I mean, I think he's got some growing pains that he's going to get through. I mean,
How the hell do you go from look? I covered baseball.
That's weird.
How do you go
Me.
from baseball, the slowest game in America, to calling Raw? I don't even understand it. I the only thing I can get it from is that he's a real sportscaster, so
Yeah.
it lends
It has a sports
legitimacy.
sound. Yeah.
He gives it
Sure.
a sports sound. Yeah, for sure.
I'm all for the guy, like giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Memorize some shit because he's saying shit wrong.
He's got
There's
to
a
get
huge
it.
learning
Yeah.
curve, man. There's a huge learning curve.
It's
He's
very
now
difficult. I can
got
only imagine
Vince
how hard it
McMahon
is.
yelling at him while he's trying
Right.
to call this stuff he's never called before.
Nobody's ever I
Never
think
mind that.
few people have worked a job where someone is yelling at them in their headset like
It's called a medical facility.
it's the Viking experience. You
Call it a
dickhead."
box-like structure, damn it.
Get it
Who's
right.
worse
It's a
though?
title.
He said,
Who's worse? That guy
Championship
now or
opportunities.
JR now? Who's worse?
No. JR now is way worse. Like my wife had said at one point while we were watching commentary that JR just trailed off as he was talking. Like,
JR said,
"Yeah, he said."
When the two women were fighting, he's like, "They're going a mano a mano." I don't know if that's correct or not because he didn't know that mano a mano meant hand to hand, not man to man. He tried to protect himself from offending people simply because he didn't know what he was saying.
JR.
He literally translated it in his mind. He's like, "Oh, you mean mano? Like a mano?"
Yeah.
A man.
I was like, "Oh my god, what an idiot!"
I meant woman on woman.
Yeah, woman, Excalibur. That's what I meant.
God,
I could get mad at me on the internet, Tony.
Every week there's a JR-ism.
On the flip side, we have Pat McAfee joining SmackDown. Like, first of all, Cole and Corey Graves were just the best together. I don't know why, but I loved their chemistry. I loved everything about it. I know it's going to take some time for McAfee to kind of, get adjusted to it.
And he kind of has like a talking show so that it kind of gives him a little clout, but it's still different.
And I know what they're trying to do, right? Like they're definitely trying to bring in
dude because he took Samoa Joe's job, so fuck him. Even if it's on a different show. They got rid of one announcer and then they brought him on. Fuck him.
I think. I mean, I don't know.
Right now.
I assume Joe was, getting paid a wrestler salary, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't know. So how about we give you this announcer salary?" And he's like, "I don't know." And
we all were like, "Hooray!"
Like that.
Not commentary anymore. He's going to be wrestling, and then sadly, we were mistaken.
I'm like, just kidding. Yo, Joe, I just commentated in the rain for y'all.
Byron Saxton now. Who's going to protect Byron? It's not Corey Graves. He ain't going to do shit. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Poor Joe. All right, let's go to AEW if everybody's okay with that. Neo, is it okay if I move forward?
No, Neo. Come on. I
don't know. It's been stopping me a lot. All right, so let's move forward. So here we go. We got AEW Dynamite going down. And a couple things I want to point out. We get first match I think was decent. We got Adam Page and Ricky Starks. I thought it was good. I guess I need to watch more Dark because I never see Team Taz get a win ever. So
yeah, they're not poised to be like, if you want to put your fedora on, they're not poised to be like the
dominant heel faction.
Yeah, they're just like good. They're good talent, but they've been positioned very well. I'll tell you what,
they're just bubbling around right now because they got inner turmoil amongst their group.
Exactly.
There it is.
Ever since Brian Cage came out and told Sting he respected him and told Darby he respected him, everybody else in the group has had feelings. And that's essentially I think the story they're telling here is the eventual, not the split of the entire group, but Brian Cage leaving the group. He's a huge star, man. To be honest, their group has always kind of been ridiculous because they have all of this power, all of this talent, and yet they lose to little ass Darby Allin.
They lose to little guys. Yeah.
But I'm sorry though, those matches that Darby has had, like they tell the tale of the underdog very well.
They're awesome. I mean, you know what it reminds me of is like WWE always has told those stories, right? Like Leon Ruff, Colin Delaney, Zach
Gowen,
Zach Gowen, right? But they never had the ending where that guy gets on top, with the exception of like maybe Daniel Bryan, right? Like they just always have those underdog stories, but then those guys just get the shit beat out of them by somebody that they really want to put over as a real diabolical, mean, evil heel instead of those guys having their moment. I feel like that's the big difference with Darby. Darby's the guy that gets over. He wins against those guys. He makes you believe in the whole, like, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog.
And that's very different from what we've been taught in wrestling. It's like the underdog usually just loses. So now it
reminds me of like 1, 2, 3 Kid back in the day.
Yeah. But it's not him pulling victory from the jaws of defeat. It's like him risking his life and limb to win. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm gonna just say it. I'm not fully into Darby beating guys who I think like cutting off guys that I think have an upward trajectory.
Like, let me give you, for instance,
I like
he
the
went up
storytelling
against
that they tell.
He went up against John Silver and
Silver
and the
Scorpio
entire
Sky.
like the entire
I was upset, man.
Dark
Really
Order was out there, and there was this moment where he does the coffin drop on them. And they're not even doing anything. They're just ringside. He just decides, Darby out of nowhere, to do the coffin drop on the entire group and just take out the whole Dark Order.
So he takes out John Silver.
He's a strange enigma, Derek.
And then he goes in and then he wins the match. And I'm just like, that should have been that should have been where he fucked up because he went too hard in the paint and he needed to take out the whole group.
His mistakes are never. He never has to pay for his mistakes.
This is the thing with Darby Allin.
Mistakes win for them.
Every time I've seen him wrestle, I always think, "Yep, he's gonna lose it. He's gonna lose it. He's gonna lose it." And guess what? He wins it. I was legitimately upset.
Darby wins.
Yeah, I was legitimately upset when he beat Jungle Boy on the most recent episode because he has a special roll up called the Last Supper. And when I saw the roll up, I'm like, oh shit, that looks pretty legit. So I love and hate the guy, but what are you gonna do? I still think he turns out fantastic matches. So
he does.
They created an actual star with the guy. I mean,
exactly.
People are actually interested in him.
John Silver, and Adam Page are the guys that, to be honest, have like just had an incredible rise in this company. And John Silver and Adam Page have legitimately done it with their I don't know, with their humor.
You wait a second there, Kat, because you didn't mention Powerhouse Hobbs. Don't you forget about him.
I didn't mention him for a reason.
It's hard to remember people when they lose so much,
Right, exactly. And hasn't really talked on the mic a lot.
I'm sorry, though.
Hasn't proven himself to be a star.
I hate that.
I see Hobbs signs. I see John Silver signs peppering the entire audience. I know Adam Page is hands down one of the biggest stars that they've created. Like, I hated Adam Page before AEW even existed, and I love Adam Page now.
When he was just a Bullet Club member, he wasn't shit.
Yeah, he wasn't shit, except the guy that allegedly had a large penis. That's all I knew him for being.
Yeah, big hog.
No, I didn't like him because he used to wear that noose around his neck.
Oh yeah,
that too. That too. I didn't like that either. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I kick it around all the time to friends and chats.
He's like, also pro horse. Sorry.
Of who's the next guy like up? Who's the next, in your opinion, if you could pick who you think the next AEW champion will be, like after Kenny? And
nobody.
A lot of folks say they think Adam Page is next up. So I just want to kind of go around the room. Do you guys feel like Adam Page is a legit guy you could see holding that title right now? Or if not him, then who?
Yes. I personally think it's going to be MJF next. I think that just based on the Pinnacle group, I think that the one thing that the group needs is to get a bunch of belts. And that's the thing that's going to legitimize them. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I think Kenny's run as being this belt collector is going to last. I think he's going to beat Rich Swan. I wouldn't be surprised to see him even go to New Japan and get that belt. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. The Forbidden Door is open and everybody can see what's potentially going to happen, right? So I don't think it's immediate, but I do think that MJF could really be, the next guy to hold it.
I can see that
group, and I think that's just the missing factor is the gold.
Do you think they actually move past Jericho, or is that just going to be a long-term thing we're going to be dealing with for a very long period of time?
No, I think there's enough time for them to still have this feud, right? Because this isn't going to be something that happens immediately, right? Yeah. I think that for now, the gold remains with the Bullet Club and Omega and the Bucks and everything that they're doing, and that's the primary story that they're telling. But they've positioned this group to very easily be like I'm talking about within a 3-week period of time. Once they get to the right period, they could just go after all the gold and, do the gang thing and everybody go out there and help each other win and all of that shit. I totally see Pinnacle doing that though. And that's why I foresee. Now, the only thing that doesn't flow there is a heel beating a heel. So
Right.
Sure,
I
they
feel
might
like you
be-
got to have a face worked in there somewhere. So
Right.
I'd be
And that's where Paige could easily be that guy, right? Like,
he could be.
have someone like
the
MJF
Dark Order.
lob him.
The Dark Order right now, they're the faces of the company right now. So that's why I legitimately think it's going to be the Dark Order.
What? You
The
think
whole
a Dark
Dark
Order?
The entire Dark Order is gonna be
-1?
AEW.
Why not -1? Like who in the Dark Order is going to win the world championship?
Give me
Please
10.
tell me, yo.
Preston 10 looks amazing. I would like to see John Silver with that title, man.
John
I think Ricky
Silver.
Starks. I think Ricky Starks
God.
is skyrocket soon. Ricky Starks, especially when they paired him with Paige, like that's their number one guy.
That was a
Great
fire
showing.
match.
The match was awesome. So
All right. We didn't
Starks
mention
won.
Orange Cassidy. Do you feel like his kind of run is slowing down his momentum a bit? What do you think?
No.
I think it's all about where he's involved, but I would put Orange Cassidy right in that same group of guys that they have made into stars. Like Orange Cassidy didn't need to be, he just needed to be televised. He just needed eyes on him.
Mhm.
Orange Cassidy has always been an incredible performer, and he's always done stuff that has made indie fans just completely fall in love with him.
Yeah, you gravitate towards him instantly.
a couple more key
I was
wins.
talking,
and
but my
I
mic was
definitely
off.
see him in there.
So
But
here's someone who sorry, T. Here's someone who did not make an appearance who I really thought would and should have is Rich Swan. There's a match happening this week,
What?
I think, right? And Kenny Omega and Rich Swan are not on the show to talk about or to hype this matchup. I don't understand.
They're not going to
Is
do
there
that
why not?
because I mean the whole
They do it on
premise.
Impact.
If you've watched it, the whole premise is AEW has been fronting the bill on Impact, not the other way around.
Yeah. Like AEW's been helping Impact exist. AEW's been buying commercial time on Impact show to give them money to keep going. There's a weird story.
It's
that
like
they're
WWE
telling.
back in the day when they were keeping ECW afloat, but in a
Yes.
storyline, not real life.
Correct.
Yeah.
But this is storyline. This is not
Yeah, exactly.
actuality. Okay,
Yeah.
so
I don't know, is it?
what?
It's,
I mean,
it's kind of like the. I feel like the narrative is like, well, we're on TNT. Impact is on Twitch. You cannot afford ad time on TNT. Impact. That's kind of how
Okay, so
I've
they're just like-
translated it.
So they're just playing them. They're just hoeing these guys for
Yes.
storyline.
Yeah.
It's just kayfabe, brother.
Yeah. It
I
almost
can't
feels
see
like
them
this
actually
entire
taking the
thing-
belt off Rich, though. Do you actually think they're going to give Kenny this title?
Yes,
Yes.
I do.
Yes,
Fuck
yes,
I
yes.
do.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's so
You know what?
humiliating for
Here's the thing:
Impact.
is it kind
That
of
is-
reminds me of wrestling indie promotions that I've worked for, that
We
I've
don't
been
gotta be the champion.
backstage,
We don't
right?
gotta
Well,
champ.
no, they've brought people in to face the guy that I managed as champion, and every single one of them, I was like, yeah, they should totally throw the championship on that guy tonight. Like, I was like, you're bringing in like Warhorse, and you're not going to put the belt on him. Put the fucking belt on Warhorse. You
I remember
crazy?
that night. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh,
and I was like-
he's a big draw. You don't want to give it to
like
him. Chris
finally
Bay's never coming back.
They put it on Chris Bay, which I was like, yeah, that
It's
was
like
a good
gone.
move too, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was a good move.
I'm just saying, like it does.
Yeah,
it,
but
it
unless
feels
you want your
different.
title to leave your company, then you don't put it on the guy who comes in for one night.
Put it on the guy that's going to get a lot of attention on the company. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
Kenny
you want
Omega is
eyes
one
on
of
the
the
company.
biggest draws in pro wrestling. I don't care what
But
anybody says.
honestly, do you think somebody's like who's not watching Impact they might, but I don't think anybody's be like, oh, Kenny Omega is now the part-time champion of Impact. I'm going
Hey.
to tune into their show on Tuesday.
Hey, yes,
Or Thursday or whenever they
yes,
fall.
yes, me.
Do you, Derek?
I used to watch
He
Impact
was
for
for one
years,
Are you
and
watching
then I
now?
stopped watching them. And now I watch it again because I want to see what's going to progress with this
Warhorse does
storyline.
rule house.
It feels like Impact, if I don't watch that, is you're missing part of the story.
Somebody brought up Miro in the chat about him being AEW
So is
champion.
that Miro?
I could see him taking the TNT title before
Well,
becoming.
he already
Yeah.
he already announced that. He's like, oh, which title am I going to take next? Maybe it's going to be you, emo face paint daddy, and
Emo face paint daddy. I like it.
I really
I'm all
liked
for
when
it.
Miro gave Kip's advice about not having your wife at ringside because it's not good.
Not good. It's never good for business.
Never good for business.
So speaking of not good for business and wife, someone brought this up. And about wives not being good for business.
Yes.
This is one person who is a wife who is good for business. Bianca Belair.
Woo!
Now, I had a friend suggest, and I got a little intrigued by the option. He said, "What if Montez Ford gets into like a Mark Miro kind of role where he's jealous of her?"
Oh, put your fedoras on, boys.
I do not like it because they're really married. Like, don't have people out there saying real things, and it could really like lead to some issues. I hate it.
That will kill his career.
I hate it, and it will kill his career.
It'll kill his career. Yeah. Mark Miro,
Montez will be done.
Got powerbombed. Mark Miro got powerbombed into obscurity by his wife.
The Sable bomb heard around the world.
Hey, it would be great.
Anything, they would probably do the same thing that they're kind of doing with Miz and Morrison right now, which they would put Bianca between Montez and
Angela.
And they would make her rising star split them up because he would be more about his wife than the team probably.
I think that's a really stupid idea just from the idea of splitting up the Street Profits. But I will say this, just again to play devil's advocate like we talked about earlier, I like that idea because it's a good storyline, right? I know that they always have to go with the route of breaking up the tag teams and figuring out some way for them to create animosity between the two of them. I just think that that's a realistic thing. Like Montez maybe getting so wrapped up in Bianca's career that he's not, doing things that's beneficial for the Street Profits as a team that leads to them kind of, splitting up. I just don't need that. I think my thing is I don't need these tag teams that they've done a fantastic job of cultivating, bringing together, and making into a team always split up. I do agree that Montez is the more talented one of the duo.
For sure, he's the star.
For sure,
who has the best frog splash in current day business.
Oh, yeah. Rock Knowledge is in the building. What's up, Rock?
What up, Rock?
He's just enjoying the show.
Y'all was talking about some AEW bullshit, so I was just
yes, sir.
You came in right after we talked about NXT.
Nobody told you to come an hour late. We went long on NXT.
But what are your thoughts on this? Do you think the Street Profits should be split up? Do you like that idea, or do you hate it?
Yeah, Rock.
What are they doing right now?
Exactly.
Nothing.
They just lost to the Dirty Dogs.
They're bowing down to the greatness that is Bianca and trying to win their tag championships back. But do you like the idea of splitting them up? Or do you think that the Street Profits need to continue existing as a tag team?
I don't know, but I want to be as high as you are right now.
Oh, man. That is not answering the fucking question
James.
at all.
Uncle Beak, you show him what's up.
That was hilarious. No, honestly, I think Montez and Bianca have the opportunity to be like the first male and female couple who are both champions that are credible. Like, they had much of them.
Like John Morrison and Taya Valkyrie in Impact?
Yeah, but even more credible than that. No.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like,
even more credible.
I like them, but Bianca's amazing.
Doesn't take much to be more credible than Impact these days.
I mean, hopefully they don't turn Bianca vindictive and make her be the one to split them up by putting shit in Montez's ear. Like, you don't need the tag title. You can go for the world title, shit like that. And then
hopefully if that ever happens, it's well after she doesn't have the belt. So we don't have to deal with her having the title telling him, hey, you should ditch him. She doesn't need to deal with that stuff.
Did Andrade and Charlotte hold titles at the same time?
I think Andrade had the NXT title while she
but never like a on TV couple
on the same.
Charlotte had the title when Andrade had her heart.
No.
Shoot.
Seth and Becky at one time, I guess both had titles or something, but I don't want to see that. I definitely don't. I think, Shauna mentioned it too. Bianca is like the baby face of baby faces. There's like the only thing she could do to get a booed right now would probably be that, for her to be like, man, go out and get your own title. Leave me alone.
Like she's the epitome of like the back in the day term white meat baby face. Like she's just untouchable, like an angel. Like she should just be protected at all costs at this point.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, I can't see them really screwing this up, but that means that they're going to screw this up.
Oh no!
Correct. Someone said we've already spoken into existence. So countdown. I just remember the classic Macho Man line of him saying, I did a storyline with my wife. I ain't got no wife no more. I ain't got no wife no more. Like, that's it.
That's how it works, brother.
Don't involve your real life stuff on TV or it's over. So I feel like if that ever happened, it's a wrap. So
I
hope
not like it, but accept it.
Macho Man, that's a little rough. Hey, you don't know rough. That was nothing.
All right. So any other AEW notes? Let me think what else happened during the show. Christian Cage, Powerhouse Hobbs. I thought the match was okay.
I like this match.
I do like Christian selling for him a lot.
Yes, that's why
I felt like he did his thing. He made Hobbs look strong, but he beat him. So
he did.
And yes, we have to talk about Shida. The great match.
Excuse me, get his name right. It's Karate McFly, sir.
No, that was on the other show.
That's Kushida. Yeah. You're mixing up your Asian wrestlers, Rock.
Oh my God!
We did go into him. He had probably the best match of the week, I think. That Kushida match was fire.
Kai Conte versus Shida. What up?
He wrestled this week.
Yeah, against Oni Lorcan in a banger.
And he was more karate and less McFly this week.
Yeah, he had no shoes on.
That's stupid.
Yeah, he went full like MMA style. It was crazy.
Yeah, he didn't have his vest on either.
Anytime I see a good women's match at AEW, I get excited. So I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to see. So I thought this match delivered for sure. I like the Britt Baker talking about the rankings and all that stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of them using the rankings in the storylines. So I need more mention of it all the time.
She had an image guy like just say, hey, if she wins, I need this one, but if she loses, let's just Photoshop this one. Something.
Right.
Right.
I like how heavy they went with it early on with AEW, and then they've really backed off the rankings talk. Yeah. And
man, we talk about it a lot.
I wouldn't say that.
I give them a lot of crap about it because the rankings to me don't mean squat. Like,
they mean nothing, but I love them. I don't know why.
We saw Miro being ranked number 1 for the longest and not get a title shot.
Yeah, not overall though.
One time.
And then they have guys like the number one guy got to face Ricky Starks this week, which even just randomly, like, where did Ricky Starks earn this opportunity to face the number one guy and get an opportunity?
Yeah. How's that work?
Yeah.
Shout out to Marcos, who mentions that Christian is mentioning constantly that he does not want the world title to drill this into our head. Like, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. He's not.
He doesn't want it. He's not interested in it.
He doesn't even want it. He just wants to fight, guys.
A couple months later, he's going to win that title, I think.
Suddenly, he's gonna want it. I think I want it. Dragon Master says a bold prediction here that Britt is going to take the title from Shida, which I can see that. Britt is very hot.
I absolutely agree with that. I think that's a good.
Britt is a hardcore legend. Of course, she's going to take it.
Hardcore legend. She's super hot.
Like, all I can imagine, I still can't imagine being one of her patients at her dental clinic.
Wait, is she still like actively a dentist?
I don't know, but I don't know. I imagine that, like, at least for 4 days a week she goes to practice dental, and then 1 day a week she trains, and then 2 days a week she kicks ass.
She's still practicing.
I don't know.
No, Cap. The only thing she does now is cavity searches.
Oh, that's a terrible joke. Can we talk about the real star of AEW, which is Alex Abrahantes?
Man,
that fool got his flowers.
Guy that says he has gone full heel, like he's wearing leather jackets and
full
shit.
heel. I was like, this is too much.
Shit.
He beat the shit out of.
I love how JR refuses to let it go. He's like, I don't know what Alex is so angry about. I'm like, yeah, you're right, JR. I mean, that dude has a chip on his shoulder, and he doesn't need to have one.
He should start making up shit that Penta's not even saying, and then Penta visually just hits out like, dude, what the? I did not say that. I did not say that.
And then just Penta just looks at him like in disbelief.
Pentagon talks for like
talking about
10
Pentagon's
seconds.
Interpreter.
Yes,
his interpreter. Yeah,
he's
I
like
see
all
Pentagon
up in it. Full
say
heel
like
now.
3 words and then have him go off on a like 90 second.
He said,
hell yeah.
You know?
Your mother smells terrible.
Yo, mid-match though, like in the middle of the match, going off on people.
Yeah,
he did that.
He's dope.
There was kind of a distraction finish with that match, but it was still funny. But next week he's gonna go like it's gonna be Orange Cassidy versus Pentagon. So and Alex insulted Sue, which you just never did.
Oh, you don't do that. You don't do that.
Penta says
you don't do that.
Your mama sucks.
Sue don't want it with Penta.
Nah, I don't think she wanted. He'll break her arm or pile drive her on the hood of the minivan.
Can you imagine just fucking popping shit off on like Wednesdays and then going to work on Thursday at QVC and selling some fryers and shit? Like what a world that guy lives in. God bless you, Alex.
Wow, that's great. All right, so moving forward, I mean that's all the wrestling we've got for this week.
Yeah,
but.
There's Rebellion this weekend.
There's Rebellion happening. There's an Impact pay-per-view. Kenny Omega will be on it. And let's just go around the room. I don't know the rest of the card, but I just want to see how many of you, show of hands, think Kenny Omega is leaving with the Impact title.
Oh, 100%.
And
you guys convinced me. You convinced me.
Yeah.
I think it's happening. And this helps everybody. It helps Impact. It helps everybody. It helps Kenny, helps AEW.
Yeah.
So
and why not? Like there has already been a press conference to show that if anybody, wins this, whoever wins this title is going to represent both brands. It makes sense that you'll have Kenny Omega just go into overdrive. However, if you watch Impact this week, obviously the entire brand of Impact is behind Rich, and then Moose came out there and cut a really great promo, which was kind of like a tweener promo against Rich Swan. So it leaves a lot to the imagination.
Okay, so you feel like they could bring in a storyline where the whole company is trying to like stop this from happening. So this will be a super schmazzy type of finish, I'm guessing.
Yes, because Moose even said it in his promo. He's like, the only thing that Kenny had that I didn't was three. What do you call them? Like 3 Goombas or 3, people in his corner.
Some good brothers. That's what he did. Right,
good brothers.
So it's
go back to my original statement. It's going to be some fuckery.
WWE
fuckery.
Hold on, sorry, Rock. What was that?
Sorry.
So if it's a schmoz finish, as you're saying, are you going to shit on them like you do WWE for their schmoz finishes?
Yes,
it's the only way out, really, for both companies to not look like goofballs.
I think, but thinking about this is something where more is at stake than the average WWE pay-per-view, where it's 2 companies and they gotta both look good. So,
I'll shit on it.
I mean, it's like one.
But if it's not good, it's not good. But
I'm gonna shit on it 100% because I want Kenny to win.
Rock, you were talking to me and Megaran, who were present at the exploding barbed wire death match, and we shit all over that. I mean, like, what else can you do when all you saw was sparklers come from the goddamn ring post? Like, yes, sometimes AEW overpromises and underdelivers. I think that this might be an occasion where this is just a necessity. Like, as much as in the great war of these 2 companies, this is a real blow to Impact. Yeah, and that puts Impact in the position of being the babyface promotion, right?
Tony Khan got all that money. He could just buy that promotion.
Tony Khan got the money. You got Omega coming in, stealing their heavyweight championship. Like, it helps everybody along. And honestly, Impact is kind of becoming like AEW's other show, kind of like their version of SmackDown in a way. They have their stars appear on there. They can keep doing this crossover stuff. And as long as it's beneficial to AEW getting their pretty large roster more television time while at the same time helping out Impact, it helps everybody.
You got
like, I don't see where the downside is.
Billionaire Tony Khan out there cashing checks.
Hey, I call him PK. He sends me DMs about wishing me happy birthday. But that's just...
I'm never gonna let that down.
So Kenny let's say Kenny does take this belt. Does
Kev,
he eventually actually drop it to somebody? How does he actually get it off him? Like, does he eventually just say, "I don't want this thing anymore"?
He fights.
Does he still have the AAA belt?
Yeah,
he's gonna lose the Moose.
Right. So he has the AAA belt. He has the AEW belt, and then we have the Impact belt. So I think
then he's gonna have Moose's old TNA belt.
Old TNA belt.
So this is another reason why Will Ospreay winning the belt from Kota Ibushi kind of dampers my whole vision I had on this, because obviously the next step after he won the Impact Championship was to go after New Japan and go to Kota. There's that personal connection. There would have been such a good story there told. And I don't know, maybe Ibushi wins it back before then, and maybe that's what we end up
There's still
seeing.
time.
There's still plenty of time for that to happen.
But New Japan's doing some weird things that I would say unexpected with booking as well. So you never know. They could be like, all right, get it back to Kota. Let's make it happen. So who knows, man? I think I'm about ready to wrap up. We hit pretty much all the wrestling this week.
All the wrestles.
Okay, so I know you guys usually end the show with like winners of the week, or do you start the show with winners of the week?
Yeah, no, we end the show with that. So this is exactly the time we go around the horn. Sure, everybody's winners of the week. Doesn't matter what week. We've had 2 weeks since the last Steel Cage, 3 weeks. Shit, you can go back to WrestleMania, but let's hear everybody's winners of the week. Neo, let's start with you.
My winner of the week is Nick Jackson in his full Versace suit. It was amazing. I want that every week. I want Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson to wear all the flyest gear in the world.
Yeah, you just want them creasing them Jordans.
Yeah,
don't you?
that's
You just
it.
want them
That's all I
pissing us
want.
sneakerheads off, just making us angry with their fucking audacity and their lack of respect for the shoes they're wearing.
I want all the dangly earrings, all the Versace, all the Gucci on them. Why the hell not? I love heel bucks. Give me all that. Give me all them heel bucks.
I like
Pretty
it.
great.
I like it.
All right, Megaran, your winner of the week. Sir.
I'm gonna give the winner to Brennan Williams and Brennan Williams only as Dio Madden for finally getting to take off this stupid mask, and I hope that he's not still gonna have the name. Was he Mace? I don't know. Wheeljack?
Mason T-Bar.
Okay, Mason. Yes, Mason T-Bar.
Mason T-Bar Esquire.
I really, I'm just really happy to see that the stinky juice of this whole retribution gimmick is finally fading away, and so I'm happy to see that, and that's really it.
All right, Beak.
I'm gonna go with something kind of heartwarming. My winner of the week is Ronda Rousey, who's expecting a child.
Oh, God bless his sperm for finally doing the job.
Bring a little wholesome content to the show.
That's beautiful, and I know that's something that's been a big part of her life that she'd be wanting. So congrats to
her for finally getting that rear naked poke.
That's right, Rock.
It was a Greco-Roman poke.
Well, Rock, let's hear your winner of the week.
Redman and Method Man.
All right, versus
the
Riddler. So I was happy that Method Man did the Riddler.
I'm so glad he did the Riddler. I love that song.
All right,
that might have been the coolest verses.
Was it, or was it just the concert? It was pretty much just.
It was a concert. Yeah, I just missed concerts. Anyway. That's all.
I know. Let's all go to concerts. Get vaccinated. Let's go to concerts and wrestling shows. Teeth, your winner of the week.
The heel turn of Pentagon's interpreter.
Yes,
Alex Abernatez. Yes,
I loved it. I love it. He's great.
Oh man, wearing yellow jacket or leather jackets and shit. He was awesome. All right, I guess I will give my winner.
As long as he doesn't turn on Penta and go into business for himself.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening. He knows where.
Pentagon says he's giving me a raise.
Right.
He's just gonna start lying about stuff he said. Pentagon said your mom can suck my.
Right.
Suck my pito.
He's just gonna be like,
I'm going to
didn't say that.
continue my streak of giving my winner of the week to Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns is dope, and SmackDown was the better, obviously, of the two shows. But again, I was still kind of appalled by the WWE's lack of moves. I know that they did things like called Rhea Ripley up and things right before WrestleMania, but it didn't feel like the post WrestleMania season this year. We just didn't. I waited.
Very lackluster.
Oh man, I waited so long and we never got anything. You know, we got Charlotte returning, we got the Viking Raiders coming back, but we never got
Express
or
Viking Express Raiders experience. I don't know.
Roller coaster.
Nice. Those are our winners of the week. If you're in the chat or watching this or listening later, feel free to give us your winners of the week. Just hit us up on the socials at Mania Podcast and at The Steel Cage. Send us over who you think are the winners. I see some good ones in the chat. I see Mount Westmore, which was dope during the Versus event. I'm glad nobody talked about Logan Paul.
No.
So that's good. We
He's
escaped,
buried
we escaped him for a week. I guess I can give him the burial, and that's a little Mania thing we do. And I'm gonna bury Logan Paul, and not for the reasons you might think. I'm gonna bury Logan Paul because Logan Paul.
He's got two first names. One.
Reason.
Logan Paul incited I don't know if you call it a riot in Arizona
Here
and caused a bunch of damage that, in my
at
opinion,
an upscale bougie
at a
fashion
very
mall,
upscale fashion mall that he knew would be, I think, blamed on, and that the repercussions would be targeted at people of color, dare I say. And he got out of that relatively scot-free, like he does everything he does. So yeah, he gets buried for that for me.
It's a real fucking weird thing to me that WWE needs to try to attach their brand to
this asshole,
a YouTube star, right? Like, I mean, I understand that they're trying to find new revenues, new ways to build a new fan base, new ways to attract fans that they normally wouldn't attract, right? So going the social media route, going to somebody that's a YouTube star doesn't surprise me at all. It just surprises me that this is the YouTube star they chose. Meanwhile, AEW's dipping into the WWE, playbook from like 15, 20 years ago and going with Shaq, Snoop Dogg, and Tyson. And I respect that way more than Logan Paul, right? Or Jake Paul, or any of these assholes that they bring back.
Well, the other thing
at least Shaq could wrestle his ass off.
And at least you have these wrestlers able to use their own other platforms, like their own Twitch and their own other channels and things like that. So you got to give it up to that. At least they're able to do that too.
Well, and I get what WWE is doing at times, right? Like I understand that they're trying to reach just a different demographic than their typical viewer. It just, it's the same thing. I guess we're complaining about Jake Paul in the same way that people like Meltzer are talking about Bad Bunny, where they don't get it, right? Like Jake Paul, though, just to me seems like publicity-wise a negative kind of star to attach this, media conglomerate to. Whereas Bad Bunny makes all the sense in the world, right? He's just
Logan Paul, by the way, but not
Logan Paul.
We were talking about. I'm talking about the guy who boxed this past weekend. By the way,
I apologize.
For the record,
You're talking about his brother
took the stunner at WrestleMania, but we don't really need to be talking about either one of them. They're both terrible. But anyway, so we were talking about Logan Paul. Jake Paul had the whatever. So anyway, the pause can probably go away. But I know who shouldn't go away. That is Chris Paul. Chris Paul is cool. And also,
Chris
Rock
Paul.
Knowledge, I have to ask you, sir, do you have a snack of the week for this week?
Sure. I'm gonna go with Maurice Mizanin.
Hey, I guess married folk are fair game, right? In the
I was
snack.
actually expecting a
married to me?
delicious snack, not an actual human being. I was like, what tasty treat will he be recommending? I'm excited.
That's a little.
Reese is pretty tasty, my friend.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's a little bit of the Matt Mania charm right there.
Yeah. All right. I like it. All right. So I think that is it for the time being. Oh, we have a recommendation from the crowd, which shoot, Cheeks in the chat.
She's been snack of the week before.
I think
I don't care
Taz
though.
been
She was a snack of the week in
alum.
NXT.
Oh yeah, I think
I do agree.
She's a previous snack winner.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Getting a real
If we were going to
decent
pick,
push in AEW right now.
Bears, I totally agree. If we're going to pick an actual edible snack, Popcorners kettle corn, which I really love. Those things are banging. I just got a huge bag from Costco, and I don't know if I can eat them right now with my teeth.
Never.
But
Nope.
I'll figure it out.
You better puree them motherfuckers and drink it through a straw. You better put it in one of those weed grinders and just smoke it.
I'm scared. Yeah, I'm scared to try. So not right now. The dentist did say like, "Hey, go ahead and eat regular stuff. Go get used to them." And I'm like, "Yeah, man.
Not yet.
I don't not yet." Popcorn smoothies. It is. That is what's gonna happen. So right now I got a whole bag that I can't touch. So shout out
Purple Urkel.
Shout out to Purple Urkel for making the return in the suit. I would just want to talk about Triller for putting on very entertaining pay-per-view content. Like I love the presentation. Like I can't front, man. Like it's good. It's good presentation.
It's good, but they really need to combine a versus with a fight card. That needs to happen.
Yeah. I think that's going to happen. With Triller having both now, it's going to happen.
Because here's the problem: to get like an ill versus and then get like 3 or 4 fights after or in between, and make sure Snoop's on commentary. That's a requirement.
That's a requirement. Just have real fights, though. Just have people really fight. Like,
there you go.
Don't try to predetermine the outcome of the fight. Just have the fights be real fights. That's all.
You don't like predetermined outcomes?
I mean, we just spent an hour and a half talking about predetermined.
I like my sugar.
He likes it when they're honest about it. When they're honest about it, then it's okay.
They got to be honest.
I would have booked Ben Askren over one of the Paul. What Paul was it? Jake Paul? Logan Paul? Jake Paul.
That was Jake who knocked that guy out.
Paul in the fight.
To get punched in the face. I would take $500,000 to get punched in the face by Logan Paul.
He made slightly just less than the guy that won the fight. So yes, I would.
I would take that.
What about getting punched in the face by Mike Tyson because somebody got knocked out on AEW by him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're talking.
That's a completely different thing.
A different fighter. I don't want to get looked at the wrong way by Mike Tyson.
I don't want to get chopped by UGG again, let alone
Neo, who got knocked out by him on AEW?
It was Cash.
Cash.
Yeah,
Wheeler.
Mike Tyson didn't throw a work punch. He hit him square on the jaw.
It looked pretty mean for sure.
I mean, it looked good. It looked great. I don't know. I wouldn't take that punch. I don't know. I'm good.
Not even kayfabe.
I'm saying that dude got paid less than the dude who got knocked out by Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Paul, by the way, but who cares?
Yeah, the Paul, one of the Paul brothers.
The Paul, that's it, and
that's
not Chris Paul.
All
right, so that's Paul, and that's between y'all. So at this point, we're about to get up out of here. Thank you for watching and listening. Wherever you get your podcast from, we appreciate it. Please give us all the stars on the apps, and go to the Mad Mania Patreon. We actually, I believe, have a Patreon episode that we're going to do next. So if y'all want to stick around for like 10 minutes, we can do that. I don't know. B, Cap, what do you guys think?
I have nothing going on in my life, so yeah, let's keep talking wrestling.
I can tell by your eyes, buddy.
I'm sick of your accusations, Rock.
It's like I don't have to take these wild allegations.
Sorry, I'm just in a bad mood tonight. That's all.
I can tell.
Is everybody watching Mortal Kombat?
No, it's like Taz. The mood changes when Rock's in a bad mood.
To answer your question, Tegan, I'm trying to watch that after I get off this.
Rock is an ethnicity, and he's not just an Italian dude that we all thought it was Samoan or half black. That's the big difference there.
We got to talk
Versus
about
Taz.
Taz. How we all thought Taz was black. We'll talk about that on the. We'll talk about that on the Patreon.
Burnt Sienna.
Yo,
He's
Taz
just a really tanned Italian dude. That's all
Taz
he
was
is.
very, very dark, yo.
I Mark Mero was black when
I think
back
one
in
of the
WCW back in the
issues
day.
Really? Mark
I
Mero?
am.
Yes, me
When
too.
he was doing the fucking Little Richard gimmick, yeah.
Yes,
Then he came to WWE. I'm like,
Johnny B.
oh
Bad.
shit, he is not okay.
Hey.
all right. Glad I'm not the only one.
That's dark. He was really tan. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I think
All right,
one of the reasons that we also thought Taz was black was because Italians from the hood talk just like fucking black dudes, like they're racist as fuck. They talk their hood, they slang, all that shit. Like, so him being aggressive and hella tan just made me think that he was a black New
he
Yorker.
was just Brooklyn. He was just Brooklyn. That's what it was.
Yeah,
so like we
that's
really
what it
thought,
is.
like, okay, because he's super Brooklyn.
He's
All
gotta
right,
be Puerto
so-
Rican.
We are going to head on to the Patreon show, which is happening right here, so you don't even have to go anywhere. I just have to do our official closing. So, as always, if you are listening to us, we appreciate you. Thank you. Please follow us on all the socials and get on that Patreon and pay that money. It is at this time that I give you our snappy closing, which is, remember to always keep your shoulders off the mat.
Hey,
Peace.
and remember, kids, I love it when you call me Big Papa John.
Oh,
Fuck Papa John.
And we're out.
what was that?
That's
Okay.
that's our and remember, kids.
Here we go. We're back. All right. So we didn't go anywhere. His son's name is based off Red Hook. I thought it was just Hook because Hook is like a term in like fighting.
Nope.
No,
It
yeah,
was,
Red Hook, like Brooklyn.
Red
Red
Hook
Hook,
is where
that's
he's
why he was
from.
called Hook.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought like they say like shoot fighters can like hook you, like get you in a move and then but
I thought it was based off the movie Hook.
Is it Red Hook in New Jersey?
no. Anyway, so who else? Macho Man for a moment had me fooled where I almost thought Macho Man was black. There were some tan moments happening with Macho, and like I really thought for a second, like, wait,
Are you talking about Black Machismo?
No,
No,
I'm
I
talking
know
about
the
his days where he lined up his beard was not.
He got confused thinking that not only was Jay Lethal, he actually Macho Man.
when he got the lineup fresh, I was like, I don't know. Was that when he dropped his rap album?
Oh, when he was wearing do-rags when he dropped his rap album. Okay.
Definitely in do-rags in the WCW run a lot. And remember Macho got really big. Remember his arms were like huge
Yeah.
in WCW? And I was like, man, he gonna kill somebody dropping an elbow on him. Like that guy.
Yeah,
like,
He got way
he
too
wasn't
ripped.
light skin. That was just that was just a hot dog skin.
Yeah, he was huge, like especially when he was doing the Bonesaw McGraw for fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah,
It was
Spider-Man.
like
right.
his traps were touching his ears. It was
Yeah, he
ridiculous.
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
he was
Bonesaws ready.
so McGraw.
I got
Why, he never had a single. He never had a single decent match in WCW because he was just so worried about being
Big.
jacked.
Yeah, he was just like,
Yeah.
I gotta be big, brother.
It's enough
Man.
of body business.
I mean, I
Anybody
feel
watch-
like that's the same. That was the same route that Big Papa Pump went on. Like once he started
Yep.
Right.
only worried about being a steroid freak.
Upper body
No, you're
business,
absolutely right.
brother.
Because
Yeah,
like
once you
towards
get
the
big.
end of their time, you know, in WWF and like their time elsewhere and shit, he was known for his wrestling superiority. Like he was of the Steiner brothers, he's the one that like was the good wrestler, you know, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
he just
Here's the
became-
real question about the Steiners, though. Who's the best mathematician in the family?
that would be Scott Steiner. 100%.
Rick is underrated at math. You should see his long division. It's
I don't
good.
know though. I don't know. Scott breaks it down in a way like nobody else can mathematically.
But no, seriously, the Mark Merrow thing, I brought up one time on Twitter, like, hey, everyone, did you guys know that Mark Merrow isn't black? And everybody be like, what the fuck? No, that's crazy shit.
Yo,
No, you're definitely right. The WCW like Little Richard gimmick that he did. Oh my
When he came to
god,
WWE, he was wearing a do-rag when he was doing the boxing gimmick, dude.
100%.
He
Yeah,
was. Wow.
and it was not good.
Well, we
was
talked
not
about
good.
Mark Miro getting power bombed out of existence,
Yes, sir.
never seen again. I don't know. Are there any other? Oh yeah, so there is some news that I saw, an update about Charlotte. Of course, we already talked about her getting minor dental surgery done. She will be, I guess, heading to Mexico.
Go the same dentist.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But
I mean, I think she's using that as a sabbatical also, so that she can see her boo. Me in Mexico.
Back very, very
She just came back, man.
They literally wrote her off just to get the dental work done. That's it.
Yeah, I think
it's all very quickly.
Yeah, I think.
Well, she had COVID.
Like I said, this took me 3 days, so it won't be that long.
Again, that was weird.
What?
It froze.
Oh shoot! Did everybody freeze?
I'm good. I'll pretend
I'm good.
I'm back.
Oh, all right, we're here.
Okay. Charlotte had COVID, didn't she? Wasn't that the actual reason why she was gone? I mean,
did she?
I
read
that
so
was
many
the
different.
report.
No, she was gone because they didn't want her on TV. Remember, she said when she came back, they
No.
didn't want her there. You forget, dude.
Kayfabe, brother.
Didn't you watch the show, Derek?
Don't kayfabe me,
Kayfabe,
son of a bitch.
Is kayfabe and gaslighting the same thing?
Sure.
Is Rock frozen for real, or is he
technically,
just wondering how long we're going to notice that he's not moving?
Is he frozen, or is he just not blinking?
Hey!
He was like Drax.
Yo.
He was like Drax
people-
from Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm
Yeah.
dying.
Like, I
I'm
can sit
dying
very
about this.
still.
People thinking Scott Hall is Hispanic with his southern ass. Like, I remember when that
Yes.
dude fucking, I talked to him on the phone during a collections call, and he told me
Wait,
how he was a Tennessee cowboy being made to play a Cuban, and like that shit made me fucking die.
That is.
I need to know more about this story.
So okay, you
never
told me
told
this
that
story. I would love to hear for the people. You've definitely told me, and probably everyone here in
I've heard
private.
the
But
story like 4 times.
I would love to for the people watching on Patreon. Give them the Scott Hall story.
All right, so I worked in a collections department, and it was my job at times to do talk ops when someone couldn't get a payment on a loan. And this particular time, someone went and got me particularly because the person they were speaking to was telling them that they were a professional wrestler. Like, this person could have easily gone and gotten someone else, but they were like, no, Derek needs to take this call. And so I got on the call, and I didn't even believe it was the person who it was, because I looked at the name and it said Scott Hall, but I will say that the thing that I took away from that call was a lot of just real life stuff about pro wrestling. You know what I mean? A lot of real life stuff about guys getting to a point in their career where they're no longer in the spotlight and they have nobody to take care of them. They have nobody to help them out. They have nobody to give them even a ride. Like, for instance, in this case, because of a health condition he had, he couldn't fly in a plane. He needed to be driven to Texas for a procedure that he needed to have done. And he was telling me how he didn't even have somebody to drive him to Texas, Wow. So it was definitely a real eye-opening moment for me personally, because I was speaking to someone who I would have always considered a hero. Like, there's few people in wrestling that I honestly just completely looked up to and just adored as the character they were and the person they were in wrestling. Scott Hall was absolutely one of them. I mean, I know.
You looked up to him as a hero, but he was the asshole throwing toothpicks in people's faces.
I was Puerto Rican, so you only come from so many fucking small islands in the Caribbean. You got to look up to the few heroes you have, man. All right? And I like the style. What can I say? Throwing toothpicks in people's faces might have been my jam. I'm just saying. But the one thing I really took away, like I said, from that was just how real it was. And when he was just telling me stuff about like real life stuff, like when he was calling himself a Tennessee cowboy that was asked to be played, asked to play a Cuban and shit, that shit fucking made me pop, because quietly I didn't even know some of that shit until he told me this on this phone call we were having. I
could
thought
imagine Cap as a kid throwing toothpicks in his teacher's face in school, trying to be like Scott Hall.
Yep.
Telling his mom he's oozing machismo. She's like, "What the hell does that mean?"
Did we all get in trouble for something wrestling? Did we all get in trouble for something wrestling related at some point in school?
Oh God, yes.
Whether it was a DX crotch chop or flipping people off.
Yeah.
Especially the second in the crotch chopping. Definitely.
There was a lot of stuff during the 90s that you wanted to do as a kid that wasn't socially acceptable, but I got busted for the too sweet, and so that pissed me off because we got accused of being a gang because we would too sweet each other, and all we were wrestling nerds that were like emulating what we were seeing on TV. But for some reason, my principal in high school, in my like sophomore year, called us into the office to ask us why we were too sweeting and what this hand gesture meant. Now, gangs were really big in my school at this time, so they would fucking call you into the office if you doodled the wrong thing on your notebook. So just to keep in mind, that's kind of junior high school I went to, but still or high school I went to, but still it stuck with me.
And you didn't mention you were Puerto Rican, so they're like, we gotta watch this guy.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, are you part of Los Boricuas?
You just see Derek walking around with his suspenders and his fedoras in high school. And people are like, what the fuck?
Dropped off in lowriders and shit. Yeah.
Yo, I was mad because I just recently watched some video on YouTube where it was talking about like wrestling groups, and they talked about Los Boricuas and how lazy their name was because it's just the Puerto Ricans. And I was dying laughing.
I mean, ECW had the gangsters. I mean, so
they had the Baldies too, just 4 bald guys that hung out together. The Baldies.
Yeah, sometimes.
But if you think of people watching wrestling that don't know Spanish, who never like tried to figure out what that meant, they probably just thought it was something crazy, like, oh, Los Boricuas. Like, no.
Here's the thing I'll tell you about.
I'm sure confession from the white guy right here. Yeah, I just that must be something cool.
We unapologetically love acknowledging us as an island, so we don't give a shit. If you fucking put on a national television show where some dudes are coming out with a Puerto Rican flag calling themselves Las Boricuas, we are all about it. Don't get me wrong. We are just like, yes, these guys should be champions of the fucking world. That's how it goes.
Oh, exactly how it goes.
Okay, so I
can't believe they got away with it.
I mean, look at the Usos. That just means like brothers, right? So, the brothers. It's the same thing. The brothers. Like that just wouldn't work. Hulk Hogan's faction should have been called the Brothers, maybe. Hey,
nope.
I mean, I think they originally wanted to go with the Brotherhood, but it was 2 races.
2 races for WWE? Never. So I don't know if you guys read or heard this rumor, or not really a rumor, but an interview with BT Sports. Daniel Bryan mentioned that his contract is expiring relatively soon. He's not sure what he wants to do next. And he also mentioned that during WrestleMania, he felt a very strange out-of-body experience, that he was disconnected from the match, and he thought maybe it was the feeling that he was about to die. He has no idea why he felt like he did. There's no physical problems, but he thinks that this might be a sign to be ready to stop wrestling full time. So
the mushrooms, DB.
He also was saying that he didn't really want to be part of that main event, that he felt like that Roman and Edge were strong in the main event on their own. And
the exact opposite of the storyline.
Right. The storyline says otherwise.
He's demanding to be in it. He's like, guys, don't put me in this match. Get me in this damn match.
Put me in the match. Yes. No, you don't have to put me in it. Put me in.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So I think the writing's on the wall here, like that, he might be done. Like he really, mentally is checking out, and the physical's not far behind. Cap,
I think the thing about it is that this is somebody that overcame a lot of physical adversity to return to wrestling, and he just showed this tremendous amount of heart to want to come back to this business. And the story was very similar to Edge's, and I think that's why they decided to kind of pair them together and do this thing, right? Where they wanted Roman Reigns, the ultimate end boss bad guy to just squash all of their dreams and just show that at the end of the day, no matter how big of an underdog you are, no matter how heartwarming your story is, LOL Roman Reigns wins, right?
Roman Reigns.
But with Daniel, I think the concerning thing, to be honest, and the thing that backs up him not wrestling elsewhere, but just retiring, is like he definitely sounded like in sound bites from that interview or whatever that he's just done in general, and like that the WrestleMania whole thing just, he's done it. He's had his moment. It's just not as special anymore. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with, not having a full crowd present at the stadium. And I'm sure there's a lot of factors that contribute to it as well. But you can definitely, I think we can all agree that WWE is really uninspired lately. And I think even someone like Daniel Bryan gets to a point where, they don't feel like doing this anymore when it's not, compelling, when it's not something that they feel interested in doing and that they're, putting their all into.
And the entire joke was like, oh, this main event, it'd be shitty if there was a third person, Daniel Bryan. Like they were doing all these stuff about like how Daniel Bryan was gonna kind of quote unquote ruin the main event. But at the same, if you watch that match, I think he still elevated it.
Oh, it's a great match. Yeah, I enjoyed that match thoroughly. I think the problem is like Megaran said from being there, a big part of it was that the second night was such a downer, and night one seems so perfect. Sometimes you just want to leave on a high note. You just want to end things where you were happy. I know that sometimes with television series and things like that, they don't always go with the super happy ending, but night one felt like the super happy ending. And then night two just reminded us once again that WWE will do whatever they want, essentially, with their characters, with their show. They'll make every heel win. They'll break your heart. And at the end of the night, they'll let you, leave this biggest show of the year with this kind of dissatisfied experience. I will say that the whole WrestleMania Backlash show, I don't hate it. I don't hate the fact that they're calling the next show WrestleMania Backlash. And I don't hate the fact that they're trying to like continue these storylines beyond WrestleMania. It's always kind of bothered me the way that they've always tried to stop these stories right here at this point. But I will say at the same time that the post WrestleMania feel was gone, and it kind of made WrestleMania itself feel like just another pay-per-view where we're just keep going through, and this isn't a season premiere, this isn't a season finale, this is nothing. This is just a cycle. Right. You're on a merry-go-round that never ends, and we're never going to stop it.
You're right. That used to always be at least the last like 2 years, they were making a big deal, like season premiere and, like starting things over in the draft and all that stuff. But this year they were like, nah, next. Like, let's just keep going. Like the train keeps on moving. So
the first night of WrestleMania was so good, dude. Like it was hard. Like we had such a good time. Then we had a kind of a bummer show. Raw was terrible. So it just petered off into.
Yeah, this might have been the worst Raw after Mania ever that I've ever seen.
We had Charlotte return and the Viking Raiders return. That's it. That's all we had. I mean, that's it.
About Daniel Bryan, dude, I could see this guy walking away and just being done with wrestling like CM Punk. But also at the same time, I could see him finding his passion again by maybe going into like teaching and training and actually giving something to the future generation of wrestling. That would be awesome.
Even Sammy, during a time when he was injured and he was helping young talent out with NXT, said that he saw that as being something that he loved, right? But he also felt like at that time he wasn't done. And he's absolutely right. Sammy right now in Smackdown is one of the most interesting characters. And if you don't know about it, there's an amazing shirt he has right now on ProWrestlingTees.com. That's a cartoon shirt of his dancing to Logan Paul coming out during the Smackdown a few weeks ago.
I think it's Jake Paul, Derek.
Is it Jake Paul? I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
But
I don't care. I really don't care.
Just mention it.
They're both the same to me. As far. One guy has a chest tattoo, one doesn't. That's all I know. But yeah, again, if you're interested, check out that shirt. The proceeds go to an amazing cause for Sammy's raising money for Syria and the stuff.
SammyForSyria.com.
Sammy for Syria. So check that out.
Did you guys talk about? I assume you guys mentioned the whole Mickie James fiasco on the main show. I know I was mad late.
Oh yeah, we started with that,
who
but
they fired for doing it? Did you guys discuss who got fired for it?
Mark Carano got fired for it. Yeah, which is the talent relations guy.
That's hilarious.
it's
hilarious because he became a star for letting people go, right? Like when we would watch.
He's the guy who gives them the bad news.
Yeah, like we've seen him before on documentaries and stuff as being that guy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
I was about to say, why does his name sound so familiar? But yeah, CM Punk being like, yeah, Mark Carano was the guy who sent me the letter, or he's the guy I talked to who said, sorry, we're letting you go. That's hilarious. So he's the guy who gets to take the fall for this.
I'll say this is that a lot of the practices WWE has had, and this includes what we've seen with Kevin Dunn on the camera cuts and all of our complaints with their lack of creativity at time. It's the same people in power for a number of years. So we're just seeing the same behavior forever. They don't do anything to correct it. They don't do anything to change it. Kevin Dunn doesn't do anything to make himself a better director or change the show and make the show better. He just goes through the motions and does the same shit. And it's the same thing with their talent relations department. We've heard for years that they've treated their talent shitty, but just now it's getting addressed. Just now Triple H is tweeting out about the mistreatment. This wasn't even terrible mistreatment compared to CM Punk getting that package on his wedding day and shit like that. But it just goes to show that they it feels like they always need a scapegoat. They always need somebody to take the blame. And in this case, it's the guy that they have deliver the news.
Who gets paid to deliver bad news.
Yeah. But I guarantee he's not the one that put their shit in a plastic bag.
He didn't do that. He didn't do it.
He might have signed off on it. He might have been okay with it.
I don't think he didn't even think it was that big of a deal that they sent her
no
plastic bag.
I said that. I don't think so. I mean,
that was Rand's first thing, and
if it was in a WWE gym bag, this would be a different. I don't understand.
If
what's
you
the
get
difference?
fired from a place you work and they send you your shit, it's gonna come in a box.
I said on the other show that
individually wrapped.
I haven't even been sent my shit after I've been fired, so at least they got their stuff. That's
from the
part of the
place.
But I think the thing is, it's disrespectful from a company that has so much money and has the ability.
They don't have a lot of money, Derek. They've cut all these people. They have so much loss. They can't do it, man. They can't afford.
I've been looking at their profit statements quarterly, and it says otherwise. Rock, it says otherwise. That's all.
And actually, looking back, they didn't get the hefty bags. They went cheap. They got Glad.
They went dollar store. They went dollar.
The ones you could just rip a hole right in.
You got it.
That's
you got
bullshit.
It. No
they
flex
not get the
steel.
ones that John Cena hawks.
hefty.
So did you see that? Did you see that Austin Creed, who is a constant joy to watch on the internet, put up a Twitter post and tagged Mickie James in it with a prayer hands emoji of him playing bass. So I hit play to see what it was that he was playing, and it was "Take out the papers and." No, I'm just kidding.
No. Yak.
No,
I just thought that would be funny, but it was not. I think it was her theme, and he's just playing the bass line on it, and I thought that was cool. So shout out to Creed.
Well, I want to tell you guys about something hilarious that I just saw. Someone, or Evil East replied to the trash bag picture and said, "The lack of care and respect for female veterans in this business is terrible." And then somebody goes, "I can't believe Mickie James took a picture of you without your consent, Evil East."
Oh my God.
There was more to it, but I just wanted to get to the punchline. Oh, yeah.
Flames.
Oh.
That's something Rock would have said. If Rock would have saw that tweet,
right, that's something I would have said.
If Rock would have saw that tweet, he probably would have said that. That is a Rock tweet if I'd ever seen it.
Don't have a track record of being a piece of trash person. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. Dead. All right, so I guess that's it for us. So we are going to head on out of here. Thanks for hanging out for the Patreon episode. If you are here, that means you've paid that money, or you're just watching us on Twitch, which is cool too. Thank you. Please subscribe.
Yeah, you can still throw ransom biddies. There's nothing wrong with that. You can throw ransom bits.
I don't know how this stuff works. But yeah, do the little things where you throw little coins.
Patreon.
Well, I feel like where they're getting the video live, and if they're not here this night, then it's not here anymore. I take it off.
No, that's absolutely.
You know what I mean? So you get it if you're here,
to the ground.
but if you're not,
this
will be destroyed. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but if you'd like, I could not do that for the future ones.
No, I would just. I could care less.
It's a good point. I understand what you're saying. Like,
get rid of every reference of Rock saying I'm high. Get rid of every.
Edit all that shit out, Poppy.
We'll chop it out. We'll chop it out. No. No, we don't edit anymore. It's all going. Hey, DJ Tayukin is back on the Patreon. We appreciate you, bro. Tayukin. That's what's up, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that. He's back. All right, y'all. So you're gonna be getting this, I guess, maybe next week, maybe along with some other bonus things. You know what? I can give you something else too. I did a song for a title match. They do their online wrestling company. They do videos. They sponsored the Ladies Night Out during Tampa, and a few other shows. I did a song for them. They're from Houston, so they wanted me to do something kind of Houston chopped and screwed flavor.
Chopped and screwed, baby.
So I gave him a little title match, some little, you know how that stuff goes. So yeah, I think I'll put that on the Patreon as well. So you're gonna get some exclusive Mega Ran. Also, a friend of mine just sent me a Mortal Kombat beat, so I'm about to start writing to that. And we're about to break the internet all over again.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm working on it, but we'll see. If I like it, it'll come out. You'll see me putting out.
Gonna have the Warner Brothers and Marvel people fighting over you.
There you go. I'm a free agent. Shout out to Marvel for having me on the podcast, where they literally said we can't play your WandaVision song at all. Like we can't even. They were like, we can't even acknowledge it because, you know, Marvel Comics, Marvel Studios, two different things, two different entities, two different people who we had to get permission from. So they've seen it, they love it, but we just can't reference it at all here.
You know that great thing you did that nobody knows about? We love it. Yeah.
Wink.
Oh, yeah. It's
nudge,
great.
nudge, wink, wink. We love all that ghost shit that you do.
Right. That imaginary thing that I think you did. Yeah,
maybe. Allegedly. You know that song that you allegedly did.
Quick take. Oh, this doesn't look quick at all, Drizzen.
Oh, God. That is a whole paragraph.
Quick long take on the trash bag thing. In a company the size of WWE, they're going to silo the crap out of portions of work that don't apply to televised stuff. Those handful of dudes that were sending out stuff in trash bags for years and it never was an issue. It was a paragraph. This you said this before. This is a paragraph.
Yeah, he's right.
I get it.
We're living in a Quibi society. We need these quick bites, man. What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't have the attention span for this.
No, but okay. You're saying that this is not a problem until somebody speaks up. And
he's also saying like it's definitely like a lower level person doing it, right? Like
it's the lowest of the low.
Right. This isn't somebody like doing it maliciously or trying to.
There was no training. There was no handbook about how to send someone their stuff, right? So so what did this genius do? I'm just gonna throw it on this Glade bag.
I'll put it in
sticky notes,
Mickey, and that's it.
I'm gonna send it regular mail. That'll show him.
Yeah, I'm not even sending this overnight.
Like, no, thank you. It's like, here you go, Mikey. Thanks, Mikey.
To Mikey Whiplash.
With no love.
All right. Drizzen, yes, a trash bag. There's more.
It could have been what if it came in contact with water?
Stop it. You got to stop this.
There could have been a flood. A flash flood.
Stop.
We have a trash bag apologist in our comments.
Stop copping, please, for this terrible company that treats people terribly. Stop that.
This is not a trash bag podcast.
We cannot apologize for the quality. If it was one of those Home Depot contractor trash bags, then maybe. Because those protect against weather and stuff. But Yeah.
By the way, while we're on the topic of trash bags, you're probably putting your trash bags in wrong. Stop taking the trash bag in and then doing this thing where you do it out. It's meant to be put in the trash bag where you just open up the thing and put it on top, kind of like a condom, and then push it down. So watch a video on it. I don't know. There's TikTok videos that'll probably be called life hacks or something, but
trash bag hacks by Derek.
Just like a condom.
It might change your life.
This is when the show goes to hell. Trash bag tips from Derek.
I figured it out. From this day forward, I know how they can send out all of the fired employees' stuff. Instead of using trash bags, just send them in Trashka.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Like Trashka's an Uber driver? Get out of here.
You kick him off the chat.
And
I appreciate him being here, and I like him a lot, but
we will end
I think
the
he
show.
should be muted or something.
I shouldn't have even logged on tonight.
Yeah, no, you're just full of bitterall tonight.
Rock is evil rock today. All right. So we're gonna head on out. We're gonna be out. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you're on Twitch, we're gonna do a raid. We'll send you off to somewhere interesting. Shout out to our guests. Thanks, Beak. Thanks, Cap. And I don't know. Do we consider Neo a guest at this point?
Yes,
I guess.
Yeah, he's mine.
Neo is a guest.
Sure.
Neo is a guest.
If that's how y'all want to be, sure. But
how we want to be.
Look who bailed you out. Look who bailed you out tonight.
You made this a package deal. For the record,
bailed you out tonight.
Neo made this show a package deal. He said, "I come, but the steel cage has to come too."
I'm happy to be here. That's all I'm saying. I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
Yeah.
We got Neo over here trying to be a diplomat. Accident. We have Rock choosing violence. And we got Mega making people make deals and choose sides. Why?
Nobody says to choose a side.
Go ahead.
Thanks for taking the time, Neo, today. We appreciate it.
I know where I stand now.
All right, we are out of here like Mickie James trash bag.
Like James goods.
Like Mickie James goods.
Her shoes and her makeup and everything else that they
take out the papers and the trash.
I did.
You don't get no spending cash. All right. So we're out of here. Yakety yak. Don't talk back. Peace, y'all.
Oh, the poor dog has got the cone of shame.
Hey,
yeah. Poor Bronx.
Bronx. He's ready for this show to be over.
All right, we're ending now. Thank you guys for being here.
Thanks, man. That was fun.
Thanks, man. Good times.
Bye.